realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
Gonna get you! Gonna get you! The boogeyman is coming!
All right. The boogeyman can only come out on Halloween night, right?
Right.
Well, I'm here tonight. I'm not about to let anything happen to you.
Promise?
Promise.
You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
Welcome, everybody, to Midnight Cinema, your deep dive into sci-fi horror movies, cult classics, new and old. Warning, spoilers ahead. I am Art Hennessy in San Diego, California.
And I am Dr. Loomis here in Haddonfield, and this podcast is evil. And I'm drunk. I'm 2 bottles of wine. Sorry, you knew I was going to do Loomis. You knew it. I couldn't do the shape. Here's the shape. Ready?
I think there's heavier breathing, Erik, with the shape.
I'm the shape hiding right now.
You're hiding. Yeah. So he holds his breath, I think.
The breathing will come later.
Look, we're already getting into it. We're already getting into the movie. Totally.
I'm Erik. I'm Erik Rodenheiser in Salem, Massachusetts, where we're full of shapes in Salem this season. All the buskers thinking, hey, I'll be original. I'll dress as Michael Myers. How original.
Yes. We are talking this week, Erik, about Halloween, the original movie.
Sorry. Happy Halloween. Go ahead. You're saying the original? Original what?
The original movie, Halloween, made in 1978, directed by John Carpenter, starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Nancy Loomis, PJ Souls, and of course, Donald Pleasence as Dr. Sam Loomis.
Him and Christopher Walken should get together from Sleepy Hollow and Halloween. How are you?
Exactly.
I'm good. Be all... Sorry, I take rest already. I'm so excited about Halloween.
Halloween is such a groundbreaking movie in the 1970s. It was a massive hit. For a while, it held the record for one of the most successful movies ever. Like ever. It was made on such a small budget and made so much money that it was the gold standard for an indie movie to make a ton of dough.
Yes, and Art, this is what I love about filmmaking. When a filmmaker has no idea and they're just like, what can we do? We only have $300,000. Everybody's helping. And then they just nail it. Like, so John Carpenter, you nailed it, buddy. You have a widow movie that just makes the theme song for every October, this theme song. How crazy is that? That everybody, dun, 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 you know it instantly. It's amazing.
Truly great.
Yeah.
And John Carpenter had a little bit of success. He had done a movie that had done pretty well financially, Assault on Precinct 13. It wasn't really a horror movie, but it did have a kind of vibe to it, like a gritty, disturbing vibe to it. It very famously had a scene, I think they might have even put it in the trailers, where somebody's looking through a rifle scope at like a young girl, right?
Which movie are we talking about, Art?
I just wanted to give people context for John Carpenter, which I sometimes like to do.
You do. You love that context.
I do. But then teaming up with his longtime producing partner and partner in life, Deborah Hill, they put together with a producer this idea for a movie called The Babysitter Murders.
Isn't he and Deborah Hill excited that they did not call it that? They just went, wait, it takes place. Let's make it on the scariest night. Oh, how about Halloween? Oh, yes. Wait a second. That might be a good name. When are you going to point this out? I know you point it out. So is this the popcorn bucket award? We're going to have like 20,000 popcorn bucket awards here. This is the movie where it's like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, except 6 Degrees of Midnight Cinema.
We should say, for people who might be listening for the first time, our popcorn bucket award we give to anybody that we have talked about in a major contribution in a movie more than once.
Yeah, if they've directed a movie that we've already covered, or if they've been in a movie that we've already covered.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a few of them. All right, we got a few.
Do. First, we'll start with John Carpenter already got his popcorn bucket award. We've talked about him. We've talked about him twice. Yep.
While we're there, when you said popcorn, just for our listeners, we know that we slur words because we're just talking the shit out of this podcast. So sorry, no apologies if we go that. So we're keeping it. Popcorn. The popcorn award.
John Carpenter already received a popcorn bucket award. We talked.
Hey.
I know I screwed up again.
You do it all. I'm sorry. Yeah,
his popcorn bucket award. It should be a new tongue twister.
Yes.
Yes. So John Carpenter, we talked about him with The Fog and Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
And John Carpenter did work with a lot of people multiple times. So you're right. Now we're going to be giving a couple of popcorn bucket awards here for this movie. And should we talk about them as we go on and we're introduced to each character? Let's go on. So John Carpenter and Deborah Hill wrote this script and put into production on a shoestring budget, as Erik said, and filmed it in California, taking place in the Midwest.
Shocker.
And it went on to be a massive hit. It actually got fairly decent, I think, for a horror movie of the time. Critical reviews. There were some really bad ones, but there were some that were like, this is a scary movie. I think famously Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel both thought the movie was really scary. Genuinely something different. And they also noted the craft and the directing talent that was involved in this, what could have just been your regular exploitation movie, right? That you could just toss off if you think about it. I want to ask you this before we start though, Erik. A lot of people will just in the general culture say, well, this was the first slasher movie. What's your take on that? Because I don't think that that's necessarily true.
No, I don't agree that it's the first slasher movie. I believe that this is the movie that sent the slasher films skyrocketing into multiple existence, if that makes any sense. Because you get Psycho, which technically is the slasher movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is it?
Black Christmas.
Christmas. But this one is made the slasher killer a different style. And I think this just exploded. Everybody was out to do slasher after. They're like, oh my God, this is great. And then the masked killer all the time.
Should I put on my bow tie and my glasses?
Oh, are you doing
for my slasher?
No. Are you? Go ahead, Art. Tell us. What do you think about slasher?
I'm not going to go into.
Oh, you're not? You can do.
This is going to make you laugh. Well, actually, Erik.
Do it, actually.
Actually, many people will say that possibly the first slasher movie was 13 Women in 1932, starring Myrna Loy.
Well, more than half our listeners weren't alive, even us. Like when we say Siskel and Ebert, people are like, who the hell are you talking about?
13 Women, I'll just say, was an interesting thing. I watched it a few years ago for the first time, and I'm like, oh, I see why people say this. It's about a group of women that are now grown, and they all went to the same high school, and they're being killed off one by one by somebody from their high school because of something that happened back in their high school.
Yeah, well, sure. That's a slasher. Right? But this one's iconic, Art. Come on. Halloween. It's just, I don't think there's no one who doesn't know what Halloween is. Like, oh, yeah. The one with the Captain Kirk's killing people. I'm like, no, not so much.
Well, you mentioned younger audiences, and I want to talk about this as we go along, especially on these recent watches for the podcast. I'm wondering how this movie would land with younger audiences coming to it for the first time. So, well, I'm curious.
I know we're gonna go because you have. Well, Art, where's my glasses? Art, you have about this movie lots of things to say about how it's created. And those are the parts that I'm like, please skip.
Yeah.
But I watched it all. And I think my kids would not, except for Phoenix. I think Phoenix would probably watch it. He's into slow burn movies a lot. But this
Okay.
one, I think for people with no attention span, sometimes you're just like, huh, what? What's going on?
Well, let's get into it, Eric.
All
Let's
right.
get into...
Wait. This is the last time I'll do this just because I found it in my car and I thought because these are our October podcasts. That's Laurie Strode, ladies and gentlemen, screaming.
Let's get into it. So right away, the John Carpenter score on the soundtrack. The simple, what is it, 5/4? I mean, how can you? It's in your bones at this point. It just lives in us.
Yep.
That
we have versions of it at my house all the time. Like, we just add different. We're like G2, and that's from Homestar Runner. For those of you who don't know what that is, but yeah, it's an amazing. Who knew that it would? It's still going.
Mm-hmm.
Just
written by our director, written, composed, and played by John Carpenter, which he would do on some of his earlier films simply to save money. That's why he was making the scores.
Thank goodness. John Carpenter usually is like John Carpenter's this or John Carpenter's that. But this one, he wasn't there yet. So it was
Mustafa Akkad.
Yes. Yeah, Mustafa Akkad presents. I'm like, who is that?
I know. It's there forever on this movie. Yeah. Compass International, too. What's that?
Yeah. But you're right about the music. And then I love simple opening credits. I don't want to necessarily see all the credits, but there's a pumpkin. I want to point out, Art, very excited because it's a real pumpkin. It's an actual carved pumpkin. And it's just slowly coming towards the camera. And that's the opening credits until it just goes into its eyeball and it's gone. Love it.
And I will point out, right before we cut out of it, they turn off the lights on the pumpkin. So it's just the inner glow of it, just that 2 seconds right before they go out on it, which I thought was a nice touch. I noticed this time around.
I mostly carve my pumpkins, Art, during October season based on this because I think it's such a simple carving that it's actually scarier than if you try hard to make it scary. It's just got a mistake in it. It's got freaking bumps on it. I'm a pumpkin fan. Those of you
I know you are.
Who are interested in the podcast, pumpkin, underwear, wallpaper.
There's a couple in this movie, so I'm sure you're going to talk to it. So we then get some opening text telling us where we are as little kids are doing some sort of a Halloween chant over the text that's on the screen. Witches and goblins on Halloween night. It's very simple, childlike, and we're seeing that this is taking place in Haddonfield, Illinois, 1963 is what we get on there. And I love that it goes out on all the kids going, ah, they laugh, and they have a sort of an instrument under, like one of those, like ting-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. I don't know what these would be called.
Like,
you're laughing.
That goes, but a rattle? You know that thing that goes...
No, not a rattle, Eric. It's more like a...
It's a professional rattle.
Everybody, just so you know, we're talking about Halloween, the movie Halloween, not rattles and musical instruments. But they do that and quick pan out from behind a tree. Like, whoosh. And we're looking at a house, a standard suburban house.
Yep. And it's someone walking towards the house. So it's their POV. A lot of POV in Halloween. So no music either. Just walking towards the house. And it's like someone's stalking around the house. And inside we got... Did John Carpenter make this a thing? But apparently teenagers love to... They're just sexing it up any chance they get.
Yeah.
And they always look like they're 30 for some reason. So you got 30-year-old teenagers in the house on the couch making out.
Yep. While whoever this is that we're at their point of view is looking into the window. And there is some dialogue they're saying, and we notice the girl is looking around very clear to make sure that we know she's looking. And she goes, Michael's around here someplace.
Right. But the parents aren't going to be home till 10 p.m. Ooh, it's late.
Yes. And the guy has a clown mask and he's going, wah, 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 with the clown mask.
The clown masks are creepy in the first place, but this one, it's got an extended, looks like the nose is a red light bulb. It's like somebody took a little light bulb. And
it is huge. It's like a handle.
Like a doorknob. One of those old doorknobs. That's it. Yes. Yeah.
It's long. And they're going to go upstairs. Now, mind you, this is all from the POV of somebody outside the house. They're going to go upstairs, and this person sort of backs up and looks up at the window, and the light goes out in the window, and here's the score, Erik. It goes, wee! Like, you're going to love me imitating.
It's like a...
But we should be clear. It then holds, and it just keeps wavering through the next, 2 minutes.
Yeah, we won't be doing the sound any justice, but just know it's really good. So when Art and I go like that, it actually sounds a little better than that.
I love it. But this point of view goes down the side of the house and into the back door and into the kitchen. And it is, when you notice this on subsequent rewatches, you're like, this person clearly knows where things are in this house, because it goes right for the right drawer in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, it's a drawer. It's a stabber knife. If everybody knows what a psychopathic stabby knife is, that's it. It's that big knife you use. I use it to cut watermelons and apples and pumpkins. First thing I do is I stab that pumpkin. So yeah, it's a typical stabby knife.
Mm-hmm.
My wife uses it for cooking, but
And this has all been one take, basically, this that we've seen up to now. And this is Dean Cundy doing the cinematography here. And it's one of the first uses of the Panaglide camera, which is not the Steadicam. It's sort of another version of this. It was early on. It's the first sort of, I would say, exploitation horror movie where you can use this technology where you can the cameraman can walk smoothly with the camera and follow and move without it bouncing around a lot.
Yeah, it is very smooth gliding.
Yes, and if anybody wants to online, you can even get to see their test footage they were doing as these young people in the parking lot. Dean Cundy has posted the test footage of them chasing each other around the parking lot with this Panaglide camera.
I would might see that.
So now he takes the knife out, and of course they got to show us the knife. It's great. The knife, close up on the knife, looking at it. Yeah. And he keeps going through the house.
Yep.
What's on the floor, though? Something's on the floor.
The boyfriend. Yeah, there's something on the floor. It's that wonderful clown mask. And it's not it's just a front mask. When the elastics you put on a mask with elastics, it dig into the side of your head. Mm-hmm. This is what it is. It's not a full mask. It's one of those plasticky, could be rubber. I think it's plastic. Mm-hmm. Awful. It looks like Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey circus clown. Like, terrorize your children at the circus.
Yeah, it's not Pennywise scary clown.
No.
Yeah.
So he picks that up, but then our boyfriend comes down the stairs. For those of you who love horror, if you really look at him, you think, oh my God, he's dressed like Chucky from Child's Play. He's wearing a striped shirt. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's, what do you call it? Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. The Good Boys. Chucky's part of the good, what is it?
Buddies.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Buddy, yeah. But he's going down the stairs. Here's what I want to point out, Art. This is one shot. I'm just saying.
I know where you go. I totally know where you go with this.
Teenagers don't have a lot of time. They go up, Art, to have sex.
Mm.
It's less than 2 minutes.
Erik, I timed it.
I
stopwatched it.
Uh-huh.
From the time that light switches off to the time he is at the top of the stairs saying goodbye, the boyfriend, is 1 minute and 9 seconds. Because we are meant to believe that they had sex and now he's leaving.
Yes. And I mean, I can get pretty excitable.
Ooh, I'll tell you.
I just don't. He's like, I gotta go. Wow. And she's up there like, yes, best boyfriend ever. Almost 2 minutes. She probably undressed and he went, oh boy. And then he left.
or imagine if when the killer here or the stalker downstairs, we could hear her upstairs, just the sounds of it very quick.
Right?
In the background.
A lot of squeaking. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Do I have a noisemaker? Oh, Art, I do. lot of squeaking. So all we got from the boyfriend was this. I'm sorry.
Or the stalker, Erik, is like, oh, geez, I thought this would take long. He starts hurrying up. He's like, oh, my God.
He's not prepared. He's like, shoot, I thought they could be up there at least 12 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
So I better get my shit together. Yeah. But he picks up the mask and puts it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You probably don't have a problem with this because there's no other way to do it. But he puts on the clown mask, and then we got mask eyes, just like what they do with binocular eyes. And they want to show us that it's a POV from inside the mask. And we all know that that's not
how vision works.
Yeah,
right.
But it's still cool. So you got these slit, like, I want to say, ovally cat-like openings, which is kind of cool. And then we start to hear some breathing, right? He's a little breather.
Well, because, I guess the idea is now that the mask's over his face, maybe you're hearing it. But he goes up the stairs, and a lot of females in this movie, they like to sing. They like to sing songs. They like...
God.
They like to hum and sing songs to them.
Yes, sing songs, and we'll get into it, but talk to themselves.
Yes. Yeah. So she's, which isn't necessarily doesn't happen. It's just I noticed in this movie.
We're not bashing singing or talking to yourself. All right, it's like this is for some reason the MO for this town of Haddonfield.
So as he approaches her room,
Yep.
And she's combing, you know how you do? Like when you're in Victorian England or something, sitting at the
world's largest hairbrush. You're sitting on a cushion. Your back is arched because you have to make sure your boobs are well presented. Because she be naked except for her undies.
And she has long hair too. So she's got that combing it out like.
Now that you say
how mussed up could it have got, Eric? Because this was not a long.
He never even got to her hair. He's just, I don't know. She had to be taking off her clothes. Going up the stairs.
Anyway, she's sitting there. La da 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 da.
Wow, good. That was good.
No, I don't think that's really
she's
what
listening
she was doing,
to the grandma.
And then she realizes that this person, we're going to talk about this in this movie too. This guy must be very quiet because he gets close without people noticing.
Well, she's busy singing and combing her hair.
That's true.
Brushing her hair.
But now she notices.
Yes. Ready for mine?
Yep.
She grabs her boobs. Michael! So now we know it's Michael. It's the same Michael they were talking about, apparently. Right?
Yeah.
And here, I want your take on this. Because for me, it's a good scene, but also I'm having a couple issues with stabby Michael right now. So from a POV, this is POV, right? The whole time. So stabby Michael starts stabbing the girl. And it almost looks like the girls, they said, look, there's going to be stabbing here. What I want you to do is go like this, and make sure your boobs are covered somewhat. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting stabbing scene. And then when you're stabbing someone, Art, like you do you not look at the victim and just look at your knife and watch it going down? Because there's a POV.
When I do it, I'll take a look sometimes because
at how cool you are with the knife. Look at that.
The POV goes to look up at the knife so we can see the knife stabbing. Because it doesn't follow the knife into her; it just shows the knife going back and forth. It is cool. And so I think it's juxtaposing a couple of things just to think about the imagery here. Because when this POV, this stalker, Michael now, we know this is Michael. He came and looked at the bed first before he initiated his attack. So we have the mussed up bed. How mussed up could it get? But the mussed up bed and then...
A lot of prep art for this sex. They were like, we only have a minute.
So the mussed up bed that this woman was having sex on, and then the knife, and then the breasts. I think they're just trying to show us a couple of images to get this idea and connect these things in our head. Here.
And she's dead on the floor.
And then that's when we see blood, right? Like when she falls on the floor. So I think also that move up to the knife, the camera was, because this is all one take, we're saying, was for her to sort of put the blood on and fall to the floor. No, I think there was a practical reason for that as well.
And fun facts, the blood, they had to wash it off for every scene. So every time they redid it, she had to wash off the blood, and it didn't come off easy. But she's on the floor. She's wearing underwear. I'm underwear. That sounds so creepy. Can you spot the underwear? You know, everybody wears it. I'm just interested in people's styles. So this one, they're what you would consider tidy whities for women. So they're not bikini. And it was too blurry, but I believe it's white with flowers on it.
So and we should point out, this is 1963 that this is that the scene's taking
so
place.
lots
in,
of flowers on underwear, everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I just pointing it out. She had the underwear on, which she put back on or not.
Yeah.
We're spending so much time on the rapid fire sex. We just can't wrap our heads around it.
Yeah. And Erik, you mentioned at the top of this scene, parents are coming home at 10, and you probably noticed the clock was chiming throughout here. It got up to 10.
That's why the boyfriend's like, I gotta go, let's go.
But the clock was chiming, and so this POV just turns really quickly down the stair and out, still through the vision of the mask.
Mm-hmm.
It goes out the front door of the house, and a car is pulling up just in front of the house, just as he's reaching the sidewalk. And the people come out, and there's two people, middle-aged man and woman, and they reach and take off the mask, and we get our cut here from our POV to it's a young kid, a young boy.
Yeah, apparently 6 years old, and the most angelic looking boy with blonde, messy hair, just staring out, holding up the bloody knife. And so this whole time, it's I guess 6-year-old kid in one of those clown suits. Fun fact, I had a clown suit for Halloween that I loved very much. There you go. But not
was it similar to this?
It was orange and black.
But he's standing there, just staring straight ahead, and the parents say, Michael? And the camera pulls back, and what I love about this is it's almost like a little diorama, because the parents are still, he's still, and the camera sort of rises on a crane shot back, just keeps going back, and nobody's moving or saying anything. And I always think of it as like it's a little diorama, like a children's diorama of this scene.
Yeah. Art, you haven't said this in a while, so I'm going to say it for you. It's kind of like a trope.
A trope.
It seems to be a thing where people are like, okay, this is not going to be a real situation right now. We want that shot. Because if I was the parents, I'd be like, what the f- is going on? Where's your sister? What is going on here? What are they doing?
Why do you have a knife with blood on it?
Somebody's gonna get killed. Oh.
And this is where we see too, even in this opening, Erik, where they show him holding that knife and they're pulling back. You can see that they're doing things to light the knife, to specifically, they must have a special on the knife that they're doing, because it seems to glow almost like with reflection.
It's really a good shot.
And now we're going to cut forward. Our text tells us we're now in Smiths Grove, Illinois, and it's October 30th, 1978. Yeah, so we've gone from 1963 to 1978.
And we're getting introduced to Dr. Sam Loomis driving in a car. You know those cars from the 60s? They all look like that. It's the super long car. And it's the nurse, and I think her name's Marion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a nurse with that typical head. Does she have the cape?
Yes.
The nurse cape. Why did nurses have to wear capes?
My grandmother was a nurse and she had a cape.
What is that about? They're like, I'm going to save you. I'm a superhero. But yeah, they're driving the car. She's driving because I guess Donald Pleasence is probably too drunk.
So yeah, we should talk Donald Pleasence. Not the first person they considered for the role. They wanted some of your favorites in here for this. Yeah.
Yep. They wanted
Christopher Lee.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke, but yeah, Christopher Lee. And he turned it down, and he's like, he says this a lot, though. It's one of the biggest regrets of my life. I'm like, oh, stop it. I'm going to do my boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. You were just in Lord of the Rings. Quiet. You nailed it, buddy.
And who's the other one, Erik, that they went to?
Christopher Lee and I don't got it.
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Oh,
Peter Cushing.
Right, Peter Cushing. Two iconic. Well, the paycheck was only $20,000, so apparently they were above that. Yeah, but they're in the car, and they're talking about picking up this psychiatric inmate.
Yeah, because what's interesting here is we don't even get, I think, Donald Pleasence's character's name yet here.
I don't think
in this scene. They're just talking. Yeah, they're going to pick up an inmate, and the conversation is basically that Donald Pleasence wants this person to stay in the institutions, not get out. So they're supposed to take him before a judge. That's what they're picking him up to go deliver him to a hearing. Yeah. And he wants the nurse to make sure that the nurse pumps him full of Thorazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll probably be able to move. That's the idea. And you get things like weird things like hasn't spoken a word for 15 years. And he keeps calling him it. He's like, it's evil. Why are you calling him it? That's his pronoun, it. He prefers it. I'm just doing what he's asking.
Yeah. So you did mention that Donald Pleasence had a little alcohol
Just a little
issues at this period in his life. His performance, I like it. But it's a very, very understated, almost mumbly performance that he's delivering things in this dry way. Whereas I think if you've been away from the movie for a while and you're thinking back on it, you think of it as a little more animated. But here, when you approach it again, you're like, oh, this is very flat, understated delivery on all of his stuff here.
But I like it, Art. I like his delivery because if you think about it, he's been taking care of this patient or dealing with this patient forever. And he's just like, I don't think we need it from him to go, oh my God, but he does say those things. Like it's just all the stuff about this patient. And then while it's raining. So was it raining? Did they make it rain? Because that's a budget right there. Or was it raining by mistake?
I don't know. I would imagine they made it rain. I don't know. Yeah. Because the whole thing was shot in 20 days. So I don't,
so they're driving and then all of a sudden you see, it looks like a herd of lunatics.
Behind a fence, yeah.
You know, you pass by, you drive, you're like, cow. You drive by, you're like, lunatic. And I say lunatic, everybody, because that's mean, I guess, but that's what they called them in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
They're mentally, I don't know what they're people in hospital robes walking around like they just woke up from their bedroom and they're looking for the bathroom. I don't know.
Yeah, in the rain and only lit by the car headlights. That's what's great about this.
And it's great because
car headlights.
The white of their outfits lights up. It's really, really cool. They look like zombies. You'd almost think they were zombies from a zombie movie.
Yes, exactly. And the nurse, like, what did they just let them roam around? Like, what's going on?
They let them roam. Everybody's
and
trying to go out.
Immediately, doctor here, Donald Pleasence, says he clearly starts to think something's wrong. Something's not right.
You think?
So he gets out of the car to run to the guard shack and go on the call. So that leaves our nurse here, Marion, by herself in the car.
Yes. And while I'm correcting myself, so anyone who's going to leave a bad note, they're not lunatics, Erik. You're mean. They're psychiatric inmates. That's all I got, Art. So I'm just going to try not to press this so many times. I'm so sorry, but they're just going to...
And then we see a guy in the background scramble up in the back windshields in a white hospital outfit.
Yeah.
And this is where we start to get these little John Carpenter stings of music. That's good. Yours is good. Better than mine.
It continues this throughout other movies, so I know John Carpenter's.
So there's somebody up there, and she rolls down her window, and a hand just comes in. And it's kind of grabbing her face and she's out of control. So she starts driving. She can't really see where she's going. And this is good direction. They show the headlights and Dr. Loomis is on the phone and the car's heading for him for a second. And he's like, whoa. Yeah. And it veers off. It goes into a ditch. Yeah.
If you're a first-time watcher, you're thinking, okay, these two are expendables. And you don't know this is a lead. Well, it does say starring Donald Pleasence, I guess. But if you didn't know that, you'd think, oh, she's going to run right into him. But she doesn't. Mm-hmm. And she backs up against the other side of the car. And that window's closed. And she's got her back up against the window. And there's that hand again. And I guess we have to point it out because everybody knows the frickin' trivia for the Halloween. Mm-hmm. But I would have never noticed it had not people pointed it out.
Okay.
An open palm, same hand, smashes the window, like breaks the window. Great. It doesn't explode in, but it cracks the window. And if you really look, there's a little piece of like metal right here on the person's hand. So they flesh painted a wrench. So it's a practical freaking effect of this guy smashing. Can you imagine that? Hey, what we want you to do is put this wrench on and just fucking hit that window. It breaks, great. Doesn't break, great. If your arm breaks, let us know. So, but for those of you who think it's part of the movie, it's just supposed to be he was able to smash the window with the wrench.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he doesn't have we're not supposed to see that.
So she goes and scrambles out of the car, and we see in the background, this guy gets off the roof and into the car. The guy in the hospital, Johnny. We see him jump in the car and drive off. She's in the foreground. Car drives off. Donald Pleasence comes running over. I did like that he makes sure she's okay first before he starts his intonation of, he's gone. The evil is gone.
The evil's gone. He's gone from him. And it reminded me about, we did a commercial, you and me, of for iParty, which doesn't exist anymore. And it was a parody of Wizard of Oz. And we had Dorothy go, and I'll never do that again. Never, ever, never, never, ever, never. And Loomis freaking does it in this movie. He's like, I want him to get out. Never, 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 never. But he does. I guess whoever this is took off and
drives off and into the night.
They make a point of a pack of matches. It's a red pack of matches
that the nurse had on the dashboard.
On the dash. And it's what is Rabbit?
The Rabbit Club.
Red Rabbit. Yeah.
So Red Rabbit. And it has it's almost like a Playboy bunny head on there.
That the nurse goes to this club.
Yeah. But it could just be, I don't know.
She's got a side hustle.
Maybe.
Not making enough money.
That's what the thing.
Bartender over there or something.
But they did make a point of that. Donald Pleasence looked at it, saw it, and moved on.
Oh, they sure did.
So now we're going to get some more text. We see a suburban neighborhood just in the daylight, and it's fall, Erik. How do we know it's fall? Aside from the text. The text says Haddonfield.
It's one of
is
those
what the text says. And then it simply says Halloween.
Which is great. I love these little, it does give you a little bit of like, woo, Halloween. And this is where my wife, Orsina, who may or may not come back while we're recording this because we're doing it early, but she's always like, it's not fall. The leaves are green.
It is, Erik, because there's leaves on the street where it's a low shot. We see the street. There's the grayest, most decrepit brown leaves on the street. And they're falling, too. Do you notice they're dropping them from above the camera onto the street? So that's giving us the feeling.
Dopes don't even notice. We don't even notice art usually when we're watching a movie, except for you and me and Orsina.
I know.
But fun fact is, I think that Freddy Krueger, who wasn't Freddy Krueger at the time, was helping by throwing leaves. If that's true, I love it. You picture Robert Englund going, I could do that. I could play the killer.
Robert Englund has confirmed, yes, that he was a young guy in Hollywood, and a friend of his said, hey, do you want to work as a PA for a couple of days on this movie? And he was basically a leaf wrangler on this movie.
So if nobody thinks that Freddy Krueger and Mike Myers were ever in a film together, there you go. There it is. They did work together at one point.
Because this is being filmed in Pasadena, California. In the spring, you will notice all the trees have bright green leaves on them. Everything is green. There's no foliage with different colors on leaves. But they did have a bunch of trash bags full of leaves from other parts of the country that they painted some, and they would scatter them on lawns and streets depending on which direction they were shooting, very sparsely. Once you know it, you can't not see it. But
it's great
when you're watching the movie.
This is the low budget movie making. We're still doing it. We just shot short film at Gallows Hill Theater, and it was in October, a Stage Fright. And this no budget, zero budget, and they took leaves that were around, because it was, I think it was September, and they just threw the leaves on the floor in front of the theater, and it just looked like a fall day. And then it started to rain a little bit. So the budget just went way up as far as looking at it. You're like, oh my God. So it's amazing what people do. Throwing leaves, picking them up, and then throwing them again. Love it. There's not enough leaves and not enough pumpkins in the spring.
And now we're going to see our hero of the movie, our heroine. It's Jamie Lee Curtis, who gets a popcorn bucket award from Midnight Cinema, because we talked about Jamie Lee Curtis in our last John Carpenter film. No, not our last one, but the first John Carpenter film. We talked about The Fog. Well, she was featured in The Fog.
Yes, The Fog. Remember when you said, wouldn't it be great if we had applause here? There you go. That's either
there we go. So congratulations to Jamie Lee Curtis,
who becomes, this is the future Scream Queen of America.
Her first feature film.
Yeah.
She auditioned. They did audition people for this, and she did a really good job. What they said is with the fear and with the kind of stuff, reacting, frightened, the stuff that's going to really come into play later in this movie. Also, there was a little connection that John Carpenter, a fan of cinema, really liked about having Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie, right, Erik?
Yes, because she's the daughter of Janet Leigh.
Yes.
Right? And she got to work with her mom in The Fog. John Carpenter got his, icon to be in a movie.
Yeah.
Here's where we have what you would think with your glasses and bow tie on. Like these shots are amazing. These long, slow shots, people walking down the street. It's amazing. And I'm like, let's go. I've seen enough of you walking. How much walking is in the movie?
I'm gonna surprise you. As time goes by, I agree with you. This is a lot of scene setting here. And we talked about on our Suspiria podcast, Erik, we talked about John Carpenter really being taken with Suspiria's opening with that incredible goblin music that comes in, and all she's doing is leaving an airport. And we start to get the John Carpenter score here as we're watching Jamie Lee Curtis exiting her house and walking through the neighborhood. And that score does build up a sense of dread.
And it's
even though you're just walking in bright daylight.
Yeah. It's not a lot of notes either. It's that ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding. Right. I mean, it's John. It did a good job, Johnny Carpenter, if you can hear me.
And as she's leaving the house, her dad stops her and says, "Don't forget to drop off the key at the Myers place because I'm going to be showing it." He's a real estate agent.
Dad's a real estate agent. Strode Real Estate, selling houses of killer kids since 1964.
And she's walking down these very deserted streets because, in a suburban neighborhood, when it's morning time, when people are going to school and going to work, there's nobody. Anywhere. Nobody.
Absolutely. They're all done. They're gone.
The only person, Erik, is she just happens to run into Tommy, a young kid who she's going to be babysitting that night.
Yeah, Tommy. And Tommy's what? Tommy, are we saying Tommy's 8? I don't know.
I never think we get an age for Tommy, but I think
for this high school kid either, who want to point out she's, I think, was she 19?
19, so she's not too far off.
No, not too far off from
it's not like Grease.
17. Yeah, not yet. Let's wait, though.
Let's wait.
So, yeah, she runs into Tommy, and he's like, "Oh, we're going to doing the thing tonight?" She's like, "Yeah, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that." Yes. And we find out that Laurie Strode she's very nice and a very likable character. Right away. But she's got to drop those keys off, like you said, at the Myers house, which is abandoned now. It's for sale.
We see it's the house from the opening that we saw, but it is not in good shape.
No. Broken window, it is like boarded up.
One of the drain pipes is hanging off on the top. It's really decrepit. Fun fact, the scene we saw at the beginning with the house in its full 1963 lived-in glory was the last thing they shot in the movie. The house that they shot, the Myers house, looked like that, like what we're seeing here. And then they fixed it up to do that final scene. I love that.
Amazing. And little Tommy's like, "You can't go in there. That's a spook house. There's spooks in there." I felt like I was in a Scooby-Doo. Watch out. Watch out. There's spooks. Oh, zoinks. So she drops the key off and we see someone's in there.
It's our first shoulder jump scare.
Shoulder. Yeah. What are we going to call it? Are we going to call it a jump scare or shoulder behind the shoulder shot? Let's call it that.
Yes.
And we just see a little straggled hair. It's definitely a person, but you don't, it's usually a half shoulder and half the head is usually what we're seeing here.
Yeah. And they're inside the house. This figure is inside the house looking out through the really tattered screen door view out to see Laurie and Tommy outside.
You know, they probably would get more money for this house art if they fixed it up just a little bit. What kind of real estate agent would sell a house like this? Honestly. And this is where we hear some heavy breathing too. It's like, so does this person have asthma? We don't know. We don't know. Were they just running around the inside, doing aerobics inside the house? And they're like, oh, who's at the door? So, and you get another one of your great long shots, Art.
Yeah, and this is some more singing. Laurie's walking away from the Myers house, and I wish I had you all alone. Just the two of us. Just the two of us.
Became a famous song. Didn't she record
Is this a real song
No,
that she's
apparently
singing?
she just made it up. She just made it up.
I have to say it sounds like she just made it up.
And can we talk about just for a second, talk about her outfit? Because apparently they had to pick out their own outfits. So she spent $100 on the outfits and she picked them out.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. And every single...
At JCPenney.
Oh, yeah, somewhere. But they're like, they got the knee-high socks. And she looks like she's dressed like a 9-year-old. And she couldn't get a backpack. She's carrying her books in front of her. And just... Like, what are you wearing here?
And it's like a sweater sort of like
it's October. It's cold.
It is. Yeah. It's like, and white, the socks are hers are white.
It's almost like what your auntie would wear to
and a
keep her
skirt
legs
that doesn't
together.
seem, it's not like a form fitting skirt. It's just, she's dressed like, I would say, I think what they're going for is she's dressed like somebody that doesn't really, like she's not trying to attract men or something. Like, right? Is that what we're meant to believe?
If you still don't know where we're at, picture any particular girl in any movie that's doing jump rope, minus the big bow in her hair. That's what we got Laurie Strode. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. I don't know. But that's, it's just a interesting choice. A lot of long socks in Haddonfield.
Yeah, so she's just walking away from the camera, like you said, long shot. There are a lot of these in the early part here, and they extend longer than you think when you're rewatching. You're like, wow, they're holding on this for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And do we get a shoulder here? Do we get a shoulder of him watching her walk off down the thing? No, she just walks up. So there isn't even a payoff on this long shot of her walking down the street. Yeah, but
I think this is where we cut to Loomis again. And I think he's on the phone. He's like at a phone booth, right?
That's like a little bit later. But we're going to cut to school now.
But isn't he like, I told everybody, nobody listened. He's going to Haddonfield.
Yes.
Leaving the police station. And what I love is like one of the police officers, wherever he was, I think he's leaving the hospital. And he goes, the guy goes, he can't drive a car. Like, how would he learn to drive a car? And then he goes, he was doing very well last night.
Somebody here probably gave him lessons. That's what he's saying.
Imagine him in school raising his hand, like how to take a left turn.
And we're going to cover Halloween 2 on a future episode, but we should say this scene that you're mentioning where he's coming out of the hospital and yelling at this administrator actually had an extended scene in the TV version that gives all sorts of information we don't have in this movie.
And don't need.
We don't need it.
But now you're right. So now we're at the school.
We're at school and we get the classic horror movie classroom scene where they're always talking about fate or death or something like that. And this is, Erik, I've confirmed this is BS. These are not real authors that the teacher's talking about.
Great.
They're not. Yeah, this is not something that's real.
I love that. That's even better. If you zooming in, if you don't look at our main character, Laurie, and you look at the other kids, it looks like Laurie Strode stayed back at least 4 years. Because all the other kids, they look like they're 12, 13 years old.
And Erik, I'm not sure. I'm like, I hope Erik notices. Could you give me an imitation of what that teacher sounds like? Have you ever listened to what that teacher sounds like?
I'm going to have to disappoint you.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't even think we see her.
So how does Constantine differ from Samuel's personifying fate? How did his character Collins go to the bed. Laurie. It's like as if the Charlie Brown adult actually could articulate. Like it wasn't just a wah-wah. It was...
All right,
so next time you watch it, Erik, listen.
Redo that. See, we should redo that scene, and whenever the teacher's talking, we'll just put the Charlie Brown wah 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 wah, and then Laurie looks up. Huh? No, it's the and she wasn't paying attention. How'd she know the answer? Liar! She's looking out the window.
I think that's to show us that she's smart.
I guess
because she's not daydreaming, but she's looking out the window as the teacher's talking about fate. And fate is an immovable object that's coming towards you. Yeah. And she looks across the street, and there's a station wagon across the street that has a seal on it.
Why would a seal be on a station wagon? Is it a circus?
Well, I should say a seal as in an insignia.
Oh, I thought you meant there's a live seal. Or
State of Illinois.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And
but on the other side, behind the car on the other side, it's very far away. So it's hard to completely see. But it's somebody standing on the other side of the car, and it looks like they're looking directly at her.
Yes, it's super far. They never zoom in, but it looks like they're wearing some kind of full white mask. You're not sure.
Yes.
Like, something's up? Is it a mask? You're not like, I think that's a white mask.
Which we're going to talk about some chronology in this movie later.
But right now we got somebody standing right across. And then when she answers the question, she looks back. He's gone. So this is... We've talked about this before. Another one of my favorite things is, what is the monster doing? So
I'm with you.
The car's there. He knows what classroom she's in for some reason. Parks across the street. He stands there. He's like, she's going to see me. She's going to see me. She's going to see me. She sees him. And then she turns her head to answer a question for 15 seconds. He's like, oh shit. He gets in the car, drives off completely silently. She looks out. It's gone. So you can imagine this guy jumping like Dukes of Hazzard style into the car.
Yeah, and this is the start, Erik. I will say, if you're 1978, you're watching this movie. It's first time, so we all don't know anything. But this is sort of the start of like imbuing this, whatever's following her. It doesn't seem physically possible that it's doing things that it would do. Almost like, is she imagining this, or is this a real person, or is there something supernatural going on? Because it's not explicit, but it's more like, how did that disappear so fast? How did that go away?
Yeah, I agree, because
it would fill your mind with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Making fun of it, yes, but still like, wait, is this something supernatural? And she doesn't go, excuse me, Mrs. Wah Wah Wah, there's somebody just out there looking at me. Nothing like that. Maybe because it's Halloween, she thinks, oh, it's just some goofball in a outfit. Certainly not a predator. She doesn't think anything.
But we're going to cut to Tommy's now getting out of school. Tommy, there's a bell rings. We cut in, and a lot of kids are running out of this school in costumes. Did you clock the costumes that they had on?
Great.
Okay.
This was the time when you could wear costumes to school. I remember the last time I wore mine. I had devil horns.
Mm-hmm.
Suction cup devil horns and a black outfit, and my librarian came up to me and said, Mr. Ronenheiser, you're distracting the readers. You have to take them off. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. And I took them off, and I had red suction cups for like 2 weeks after that. Like red hickeys on my forehead. But I love the outfits that you can wear to school.
Yeah.
And apparently at the school, they're giving you the world's largest, heaviest pumpkins you can take home with you. Because Tommy's got it, and that pumpkin, it is a huge and very real pumpkin.
It is about, it might weigh as much as him.
Oh my God, it's got to be 20 pounds.
It's huge. Did he win it in a raffle or something?
I don't know.
Because it's Halloween?
When you could give out food at school and not get...
I will say, it's a very awkward thing to be carrying while you're being relentlessly bullied by 3 other people. Like, it's the worst situation, I think, to be in.
Yeah, and the teachers apparently are just in the break room smoking because nobody's there to help this poor kid. And they're just like surround him going, the boogeyman's coming. And my thought is this Tommy's first Halloween? They go, you know what Halloween is? He's like, it's getting candy. And they're like, no, it's the boogeyman. He's coming for you. Right?
And yeah, they're for bullies on a scale, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because all they're doing is going, the boogeyman's going to get you, and I'm like, these guys aren't that I don't know. They're not like Stephen King bullies.
No, but they do trip him and he lands on.
Or Stephen King bullies carve things into you.
They carve their name into you. They tie a rope to your penis and throw it off a bridge with a rock attached to it. My God. No, but they do ruin his pumpkin.
They trip him.
Yeah. It has to be one take because they didn't have any pumpkin.
He lands on it, Eric. It's a nice split right up the center of the pumpkin when he smashes on it.
Perfect shot.
Yeah. Great.
Yep.
Yeah. So he does that, and the other kids, and they run off. But they run off. It's a funny cut. I know this podcast is about us noticing things. When they show them run off, they all run off in the same direction to the left. But then when they do a cut, and one of them is running in a direction that they didn't run off of. He's running towards the camera, one of the bullies. And he runs right towards the camera, but we get our mechanic's jumpsuit scare.
Yes. So we still don't see, we see a figure there that stops him with his hands, and it's wearing that, what we call it, a navy blue mechanic outfit.
Yeah. I want to talk about that outfit.
It's a very interesting choice, but it works. And he stops the one kid. But we think it's this guy that we've been seeing because we don't see the head. And the kid looks up, he's like, "Whoa," and takes off.
Kid does a good job. He looks pretty, because he's been a kind of a snarky bully, and you see the change in this kid's face when he looks up at him. But the creature, whoever this is in this jumpsuit lets him go. But kind of the jumpsuit, the reason I wanted to talk about it, Eric, is this jumper or whatever it's wearing. It's like it's kind of tailored. I have to say, he looks pretty good at it. It
fits well. I think
tight in the right places, and it has kind of a cool venting, would you call it, or like the way it's cut on the back.
Collar goes up.
It's kind of stylish. It shows off his figure pretty well, I have to say.
Yeah, a little worn.
Yeah. And
I don't always see shoes here, but he's wearing kind of like boots or Dickies or whatever they're called. But here's two things about this scene that I think are interesting. One is, back in the day, you could allow anybody to come onto the schoolyard and pick up your kid, especially wearing, what would be a horrific white mask. Yep. And it would have been funnier, Art, if all the three kids did run off in the same direction and he gathered all three up, and then let them go. That would have been, it's not a comedy.
But he's following, so now we get, again, that score, that John Carpenter score keeps building. And he's following along the fence. I love how his hands sort of gently caresses the fence as he's going down it. And he's watching Tommy through the fence walk, in front of the school. He's definitely following Tommy. And then he gets in the car that we saw earlier, starts it up, and we have a POV from inside the car as he follows Tommy. It's a long shot. Once again, Eric, it's a long shot.
It is a little long. And all I'm thinking in this scene is, thank God he dropped the pumpkin, because he would have had to carry that son of a bitch all the way home. There's no way he would have made it. So
he was having a hard time even before the bullies tripped him.
He's not getting home with that.
But it pulls up and it watches. We see Tommy, and this is where you really see in the shot. I'm like, Tommy's really young. Like, how old is what's going on?
I said, I think he might be.
He's a small kid. He's a really small kid.
He's got to be 8. He can't be 6. He's got to be 8 or 9, maybe. My guess.
And he pulls up, and he's sort of, once again, we're getting at it. I mentioned earlier this idea of this POV, whoever this is, right, he's looking very close. Like, the kid wouldn't notice this car slowing down very close to him, following him parallel. But then the car speeds up and just goes forward and takes off.
Man, I'm sorry. You're going to love this podcast, everyone. It's going to be a 6-hour podcast.
Oh, God.
But I would have loved it if a teacher pulled up or a crossing guard and knocked on the window. Excuse me, you can't park here. This is a school zone. But he's doing that heavy breathing here. We hear him go.
Yeah.
So we know it's the same person. I'm exaggerating breathing, but.
And this is where we get a little Loomis, and he's at a phone booth.
Yeah.
And the sign says Haddonfield 73 miles away.
It's a long haul.
Well, apparently back when they were in Smith's Grove at the beginning, Haddonfield was he was saying to that doctor when he was coming out, Haddonfield was like 150 miles away. So he's about halfway to Haddonfield, we could tell. But he's it's like a train crossing there's a phone booth there. But then again, phone booths were everywhere when we were younger. They were all over the place. But he's calling ahead to Haddonfield. He's on the phone with the police saying, this escaped lunatic is on his way and you need to do something about it. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
And they're not really taking him seriously,
Nope.
I think, on the other
If you're not ready for him, it's your funeral.
That's right.
And here's where low budget movies, I'm imagining they're like, we have to wait for the train to go by before you do your lines. And so we see the train. So production value, they didn't get a train. The train went by. So I thought, probably waiting. It's going to come any minute. Okay, now. Yeah.
But he sort of notices before he gets in his car, there's sheets or white linen or something on the bushes in sort of this area of shrubs next to the train tracks. And so he goes over there and he looks and he's looking at the materials. We as the audience are like, that looks like the stuff the mental patients were wearing.
Oh, whoa. I'm sorry. Psychiatric inmates are.
Psychiatric
we don't
inmates
use the word lunatic.
were wearing, yes.
We also see a truck. It's one of those, I call it a Christmas truck. You know, it's like that truck.
It's always in those paintings out in front of like an inn.
But it's kind of off the road at a little bit of a tilt.
Yes. And then Loomis notices something on the ground.
Yes.
It is a matchbook.
Which we needed, Art, because otherwise we'd have no idea that this might be the escaped killer. That matchbook I thought was going to play so much into it. It's like, oh, Red Rabbit, that's a good thing. I need some more matches. He's so enthralled with the matches that he leaves and doesn't notice that there's a corpse.
Yeah, the camera sort of slides over to our right, and just in some bushes just off the way is a guy, and it looks like he has no clothes on, and he has some blood down his chest.
Yeah, he's dead.
We see a little bit of blood. He's dead.
He's dead.
Clearly dead.
We're calling it victim number one. Number one.
But Loomis never sees him.
No, he doesn't, because he's so excited about the Red Room matches. I remember when I went there for a bachelor party.
Can we stop for a second here, Erik? And I've always wondered when I go back to this movie, like, what exactly happened here? Like,
we could go over it.
Exactly what transpired here?
Here's what happened.
Okay.
So Michael Myers, he's escaped in his car.
Yeah.
And the other guy was taking a pee, pulled over the side of the road. And then so Mike Myers pulled up, and the guy looks over. He's like, well, this the guy, what you doing there? Why are you wearing your pajamas? And then Mike Myers goes up there and goes, oh my gosh, look at that. We're the same size. You'd think we were twins. He chokes him and takes his outfit.
Okay.
But the big question is, did he take his underwear? Because I'm not sure Mike was wearing underwear. So did he take the socks? He had the same shoe size. It was awesome.
And also, did Michael Myers come out and offer him a light? Is that why the matchbook is out in the middle of the
Oh my God, Mike Myers is like, I'll use the whole light. You got a cigarette? I only got these matches. Oh, the Red Rabbit. I've been there. You been there, son?
Yeah.
Man, you look like you've seen a
And so by the truck, we're thinking that it looks like maybe it's a mechanic or something like that. So this guy maybe had that cool jumper. This was that guy's
obviously Art
jumper.
I mean, the guy wasn't naked driving around his truck. I'd like the freedom of the wind on my body. I mean, just they switched outfits.
And then so Dr. Loomis is heading off.
Yeah,
he's got to get to Haddonfield. And we're cutting to it's the end of the day here at the high school. Heading out,
and
we get the cheer. Do you got the cheer, Erik?
What?
The cheer? We hear the cheerleaders in the background. We hear the cheerleaders.
When I was watching this, Art, I'm like, I don't need to know this cheer because Art's gonna know.
Did you say that?
Yes. 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Michael.
We're from Haddonfield. Couldn't be prouder. Can't hear us now? Then we'll yell a little louder.
Yell a little louder.
They keep saying it over and over. As Laurie is exiting high school with her friend, Linda. Linda, played by PJ Soles, and who I'm sure is going to get a popcorn bucket award probably in the future. PJ Soles was a young actress who appeared in a lot of different movies during this time period. She's pretty recognizable for anybody our age because she was in Carrie. She was in Stripes with Bill Murray.
And
I like her a lot.
rock and roll.
I like her.
Rock and roll.
Rock and Roll High School.
Rock and roll high school.
Which has come up a couple of times here that we've talked about. But I like this actor. I think she has a great energy. I will say, I don't think she's right for the way this role is written for her character.
No, we find out later, that Jamie Lee Curtis is more this personality and PJ Soles is more the Laurie Strode personality. So, but they had to both go against that because, Jamie Lee Curtis is very jokey and very fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And PJ Soles, we should just say her character says totally.
Oh my God. Oh my God. She totally says it totally all the time. Totally. Because she's 28 years old, Art. She's a 28-year-old trying to play, hopefully, an 18-year-old.
Who's also an airheadish 18-year-old, which, number one, she's 28, like you said, Erik. And number two, I think PJ Soles, this is where the miscasting comes in. I don't think she's in other roles, total airhead. I think she's played like a mean girl or she's played a nice person. Like, I just don't see it doesn't come off right. It seems like the lines aren't right, I have to say, for this character.
Oh,
here.
Totally. I totally agree with you, Art. Totally. My God, totally. And we're totally introduced to the other friend who's not a jump scare, who's totally 29 years old.
And Erik, do you have your applause? Because we have another popcorn bucket award here.
Wait. I'll do a free applause. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
So. Not every podcast.
I like this.
It won't be every podcast, just this.
Production value, Erik.
Yeah, production value, yeah.
So, well, it's our low budget podcast here, so we're doing what we can. I'll be sprinkling leaves around.
Yeah,
I'll be
we spent it all on the lighting.
Yes. So this is Annie, her friend Annie, played by an actress, Nancy Loomis. Loomis just happened to be her name at the time, but is her real name Kiraz? I think her real name she goes by now is Kiraz. I think she worked with John Carpenter on Assault on Precinct 13, where she also did the costumes and things like that behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. So she had a couple of different names that she would use to be credited on different things. But here she's credited as Nancy Loomis, and she was also in The Fog, which we covered. So Nancy Loomis gets our popcorn bucket award here at Midnight Cinema.
Yes,
congratulations,
ma'am.
Nancy
Yes,
Loomis.
she does. Yes, ma'am. And
now,
that's the fun facts where he got Loomis from was he just took her name as like, hey, Loomis, that sounds good for the...
Well, I mean, I think also Psycho, the boyfriend's name in Psycho was Sam Loomis.
Oh, who cares?
Psycho.
I like mine better.
So, but out of this we got our little trio of friends here. We have Linda, totally, and Annie, come on. And can you do Jamie Lee Curtis's affect?
Yes, I'm Laurie.
Yeah,
I'm Laurie.
So we got our three different girls here. So Erik, how do you take these three? I'm an Annie guy, I have to say.
You're an Annie guy.
I like Nancy Loomis, and I liked her. I remember I mentioned in The Fog. There's something about her affect. I think some people don't like it, but I kind of like Annie in this movie. I just like her attitude.
Putting me on the spot, I'm gonna be an Annie guy because she's definitely not talking like a high schooler. And she's got somewhat of an attitude. Like if she's a babysitter, she would be the one I would least want to have as a babysitter. Like, go to bed, shut up, I'm having a cigarette. But yeah, I'll vote for her too. So we're both Team Annie then.
I think we're Team Annie.
We're both Team Annie. I guess we're both Team Annie. And now Laurie forgets her chemistry book.
Yeah, and we learn, you're such a...
Oh my God.
The other girls are like, well, the whole thing is teasing her about how she doesn't do anything fun or she doesn't really go after boys. And we're just getting this set up. We can clearly see Annie and Linda are getting ready for tonight. They're scheming to have sex with their boyfriends tonight
they're
on
all
Halloween.
Babysitting. They're all sort of babysitting. And then while they're talking, there's fun lines in here by PJ Soles, but whatever. A car drives by and it's that car. And it's it's the car is as silent as the driver. That car should be going, but nope, it drives by slowly. And what I love is our favorite Annie, Team Annie. She's like, "Hey, jerk, speed kills." Like, what are you talking about? Then the car stops. Oh shit!
Yes, and it holds.
Yeah. They're the only people walking around in the neighborhood at this time. There's no one else. So they're a little scared. And then, then the car keeps going. And then one of the lines is, "I hate a guy with a car and no sense of humor." Like,
yeah.
What?
See, these are all Annie lines. I love them.
Because she's so savvy at 17 and a half.
Yeah.
And then you got another great long shot of them walking away.
They're really showing off this new Panaglide system, I think, Erik, is what they're doing. They're like, oh, we can walk on the other side of the street and show the girls walking. It feels like it should be cutting a little earlier than they're cutting to move on to the next thing.
And again, this was 70s, so we're not at the cut thing that happens all the time now. But I would, if I was watching this and I had to give a first-timer advice and be like, you don't really need to know the dialogue. You don't really need to see him smoking cigarettes.
We'll just say what they're setting up is Laurie is going to be babysitting for the Doyles, and Annie is going to be babysitting for the Wallaces. And those houses are right next to each other.
Yeah, everybody lives close. Yeah. And the Doyles, it's Tommy. Tommy Doyle is the kid we saw. Yeah. Pumpkin.
And Annie is planning for Paul to come over while she's babysitting, her boyfriend Paul. And Linda is wanting to come over to the house where Annie is going to be babysitting with her boyfriend, Bob. Yeah. So whereas Laurie is just planning some fun activities for babysitting Tommy.
Yeah.
Tonight
popcorn, movies, pumpkin carving.
Yeah.
Chemistry, doing chemistry. But while they're walking, it's a picture neighborhood, just that big ass long sidewalk, right? And on the left, you get bushes that separate houses, like really tall bushes. And we see that guy, we're going to call him the Shape, I guess. And we see him, half of him standing there. And Laurie's the only one that sees him. It's just the two. It's Annie. I think it's Annie and Laurie. And she's like, look. And then Annie's like, what? And he's gone. Okay. So this guy, the Shape, it's like, oh shit, here they come. I'm going to freak her out. So he steps halfway out and he's like, okay, see me. And Laurie's like, I see you. And then as soon as she looks over, he's like, shoot, I'm going to duck behind the bush. Like he's planning this, Art.
Yeah. And he doesn't jump. We see he just casually steps to the side to go behind the bush.
Yeah.
It's like he's not in a rush.
Rush.
The framing of this shot, I will say, Erik, with him, he's sort of half standing out from behind the bush.
Yeah, like I said.
No, I know, but I'm pointing out.
Damn it.
It's a mirror of when we see him all the time from behind, and it's half. You pointed out earlier with the shoulder from behind where we're looking out. And so I just like that they sort of do this a couple of times and they just sort of mirror that shot with the framing.
Yep.
So,
and we're still not getting a good look. We haven't seen like a
he's far away
close-up of the mask or anything. And why isn't Laurie freaked out? She's seen this guy 3 times. She's not going home to call the police. I think someone's stalking me. Nope, it's just regular high school shenanigans. And Annie goes over, and Annie's our girl. So she's like, I'm going to find out who this fucker is. And she goes over and she's like, hey, what are you doing? And she's pretending to talk to him. And then he's not there. I thought that was pretty funny.
And Annie, good job, Laurie. You scared off another guy.
Scared off.
And little trivia note, if people have never seen this movie, they're watching it. While Annie's standing there doing this, you see a big puff of smoke go by the lens of the camera. And that is literally John Carpenter off to the side smoking.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. And while we're at it, those leaves really came in handy because there's one in her hair. She's got a leaf. Laurie's got a leaf in her hair. I'm like, all right, good. And then we get a officer jump scare.
Yeah, it's Annie's dad, Sheriff Brackett.
Wait a second, Sheriff Brackett. Popcorn.
Okay, popcorn bucket from
the fog. He's the weatherman.
He's the weatherman.
Yeah, whoever's stalking Laurie Strode is not going to like finding me home. He always looks creepy, too. He doesn't mean to, but he always looks like he's just going to, he's not.
And I think that what they're trying to do here, Erik, is give us like a lot of horror movies in this era functioned a little bit as like whodunits. Like, is there some? I think they want to give us an idea that he might be creepy.
Yeah.
But yes. And he has the great line, it's Halloween. He calms her down. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare.
Yes.
That's what he says.
Yep. And he lives next door. So they know everybody lives next to each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then she hears trick-or-treaters. And this is where we hear her talking to herself. Like, what? Would you talk to yourself? Or are you talking to
Well, kiddo, she says, I thought you outgrew superstitions.
Yeah. And apparently all the women's lines were written by Deborah Hill. So Deborah Hill probably goes around, hey, kiddo, we're ready for your next shot, kiddo.
She goes upstairs. Laurie goes upstairs to her bedroom, looks out the window, and
yes.
Michael Myers is down there.
Iconic.
The shape is down there in the sheets.
Yes.
In the laundry.
Yep.
Remember we used to hang laundry outside
I
when
still
we were
do
kids?
sometimes.
Yeah.
It dries so fast, man. But it's iconic scene, and this has been parodied. One of my favorite parodies is Laurie Strode looking out the window, and then they cut to the shape. And then she looks out the window again, and it's the shape doing different things and like making a barbecue. Then Jason shows up. If you guys get a chance to look up that, it's the Laurie Strode window parody or whatever it is. Hilarious.
But this one, Erik, he disappears. But what's interesting, just to get a little technical about it, there isn't a cut. There isn't like she looks away and then looks back. She's looking out the window and he's there. We cut to her. She's still looking and then he's not there. To me, I just found that interesting. Like, it's not like, previously it's been like, oh, we can look away and then look back and he's not there like at the school.
Yep.
This is he's gone in the wind.
He's stalking her, Art, and we don't know why. Like, why is he all of a sudden just deciding to stalk Laurie Strode? Why is he doing it? Mm-hmm. We don't know.
Yeah. And then her phone rings and it's just somebody on the other end of the phone. So we don't know what's going on. Does this guy know how to use a phone?
Right.
But it's Annie.
Yeah.
It's Annie is chewing.
And I thought that'd be cool if Michael Myers had a phone near the laundry. He's like, I'm going to call her right now. Hangs up the phone. Yeah. But it's Annie.
And then she goes and lays down and takes a nap on her bed. And we cut to a little while later. Now we're going to get into the evening. She's heading out another gigantic pumpkin Laurie is leaving the house with. And we get more trick-or-treaters. Mm-hmm. The idea that trick-or-treaters are out on the street.
Yep. And it's not dark yet. It's daytime trick-or-treating.
But she's walking and we get the score and her walking. It's more of that. Yeah.
And the real pumpkins, again, everyone real pumpkins, not that fake shit in every other movie.
No.
And they had to paint some of the green ones orange because they couldn't find the orange ones.
I will just note that in a few of these long walking sequences are where, if you look closely, you can see palm trees in the background.
Yes, you can. Where the pumpkins come from.
Yes.
Pumpkins come. My cat has been bothering me the entire podcast. She's just like going around my legs. What do you want?
Your cat, Popcorn Bucket Award, I think, at this point.
Yes,
right?
my cat makes a frequent appearance. But she gets picked up by Annie, right?
Yeah, Annie in her cool car with the I guess they listen to Sha-na-na or something on the radio. Do-do-do, ba-da-da-da, da-da-da, woo-do-do-do. Like,
for those of you who don't know that, that's Art Hennessy doing Sha-na-na.
Yeah, it wasn't the actual Sha-na-na. If you know. But they immediately start smoking weed. That's the thing. She's like, we have just enough time. Just busting out the joint.
Yeah.
And Laurie does it. It's not even like Laurie's like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, like in my memory when I'm watching it. I'm like, oh no, Laurie takes it. She's not too good at it though.
No.
Annie's clearly no problem.
Hardcore.
But she's been doing, but Annie's almost 30 now.
Yeah.
The actress.
Smoking weed for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. So gonna cut back. Now we got to catch up with Loomis too.
Yeah.
He's now I think he's in Haddonfield, but he's at the grave. He's at a cemetery. And we got a great supporting character here.
I love this guy. I don't know.
I do too.
But he was I just remember him from Hook, that awesome movie we'll never cover. But he's Toodles, I believe, in Hook. He's like, Hook is back.
But this guy's great. He's bringing Loomis through the cemetery, and he's telling a story that's related to what we're watching here. And he tells a story about this guy. He says, over in Russellville, a guy, Charlie Bowens, excused himself from the dinner table, got a hacksaw, kissed his wife and children goodbye, and Loomis interrupts him. And we never,
Hey,
I love it, Erik.
Shut your mouth. I got other things to do.
But we never hear
Nope.
we never
And
hear what
then-
this guy did with the hacksaw.
Could have been. And then he cut down a Christmas tree and put it in the living room. We don't know.
But we never
We'll
hear
never
the
know.
end of it.
Yeah.
Why? Because they realize they're at a grave. He's looking for Judith Myers,
Yes.
the one we saw killed at the beginning,
Yeah.
the young woman, her grave, and the gravestone is gone.
It's a perfect hole where that gravestone would be.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So it looks like it was just pulled out of there,
Yeah.
not
Nice.
dug around the
Right.
sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got another. He came home. He came
Yes.
home. And it's iconic because Halloween, the night he came home. Instead of it. Shouldn't have been Halloween, the night it came home.
Yeah. So we just had that little shot. So we know that Loomis is here in Haddonfield. And then we cut back. Annie and Laurie are driving in the car. Annie, I love her. She's like, I know what I'm doing tonight. Popcorn and watching Dr. Dementia. 6 hours of horror movies. Little Lindsay won't even know what hit her.
Oh my God. That's the babysitter. Lindsay's don't Lindsay run. Lindsay.
We'll talk about Lindsay.
Yeah,
I
she's
like
pretty
Lindsay
hardy.
too when
She's
we
gonna
get to
be pretty
Lindsay.
hardy.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Same car is following them.
We see it come into the background.
Yes. And it's now getting dark, right?
It's just starting to
Yeah.
get dark.
This car
But they're-
is 10 feet behind them.
Yes.
Is it an
It's-
electric car? Did they not look in the rearview mirror? What's going on?
But they pull up and they're going through town, look, the little town center here, and there's a hardware store and there's a cop car in front of it. And Annie starts freaking out. Oh, it's my dad. We got to put away the weed. We got to get, they're doing the whole thing. But I was like, did they have to stop for the dad? Couldn't they just have driven
They
past
actually
there?
pulled over.
She's the one putting herself in that situation. I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't really, your dad probably wouldn't have noticed
And he's
that
not a
you were
great
driving.
detective either, because if you're smoking weed in the car, it's not going
They would have known.
anywhere. And did you catch the radios playing Don't Fear the Reaper?
Yes.
Don't fear the
Yes.
Reaper.
More cowbell, Erik. Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
Exactly. Yeah.
You see Mike Myers with a cowbell?
Yeah. So they pull over and she's like, what's happening, Dad? You know, like, Dad.
Oh, Dad, like it sounds real. I don't know, 30-year-old daughter. I'm like 10 years older than you.
Yeah. And he says somebody broke in, probably kids, and they stole
What did
They
they steal,
stole-
Art?
a couple Halloween masks.
Uh-huh.
He says masks,
Yeah.
plural, is what he says. He says rope and a couple of knives.
Yeah, no big deal. Kids stealing knives on Halloween. No biggie. Yeah, probably going to stab someone and then hang them. You know, no big
Dad,
deal.
you blame everything on kids.
On kids. What I love here is when they're talking, it makes it so real because the car is on and they're like, the alarm's going off and they're like, huh? The daughter's like, huh? And he's like, huh? I thought that was awesome. When they're
Well,
like,
then it
"What?
cuts
Huh?"
out. He's yelling over the alarm and it cuts out right before he says something.
Yeah.
So it's that awkward thing where he's talking really loudly and Annie's like, my dad shouts a lot. Yeah. So they pull off. Annie and Laurie pull off. Loomis is going to come up to the sheriff. But this is my favorite of Michael in the background driving the car because across the street, you can see at the cross street that our station wagon pulls up and you can clearly see inside it Michael, the guy with the white face, looking both ways, pulling out gingerly and looking, making sure there's nobody coming and turning and then driving past in the background because we're supposed to think, ooh, there's the station wagon. But if you look, Erik, closely, you see that Michael's he's very a defensive driver, and he is. Michael Myers is,
he's always thinking. He's always cautious. He's got, I got to get out. I got to this. I got to. He's very, in that psychiatric.
Well, he's like, I don't want to get in a car accident. This will ruin everything.
Yeah,
if I get in a car accident.
If he wasn't looking, he crashed into like a mailbox. It's all over.
Right in front of the sheriff. Yeah.
He's like, shit. He starts to take off running.
Right.
Trips because he can't see with the mask. Oh, shit. Rips the outfit. Be awesome.
Yeah. So he goes by, but it's just a quick thing with Loomis and the sheriff. He sort of introduces himself. I'm here, and then we off. And this is where now we're suddenly at nighttime. It's suddenly dark. Well, it's your favorite in horror movies. Yeah.
Really quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, in California, sun's up, sun's down.
But suddenly they're driving, and this, Erik. This, oh my God, you thought the car was following closely that station wagon before. It is 5 inches from their back bumper.
I'm telling you.
Pulling them down the road.
If they stop short, it would be Michael Myers' fault. He'd have to pay for the insurance because.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I was like, where's the Michael who 5 seconds ago was like making sure that he was looking both ways and everything? You would think he would be like, don't tailgate.
He's a rebel. He's a rebel, Art.
Keep 2 car lengths. No, he's right up on them. There is no way any human being would be like, wouldn't be like, what is wrong with this guy?
They're not paying attention, Art, because they're too busy trying to hook up Laurie with Ben Tramer.
Yes. Laurie reveals, because Annie's teasing her, and she throws out a possibility for a boyfriend or somebody, and then she says, I'd rather be with Ben Tramer.
Ben Tramer. Oh.
Ben Tramer. Oh, my God.
Sorry. So funny. Yeah, she's got a thing for Ben Tramer. Another person who we don't see, but we have to create the life of Ben Tramer. It's like, where's Ben Tramer right now? Is he a basketball player? What does he do? Is he a bookworm? Where does he live? Is he in the neighborhood? Ben Tramer, where are you?
He has it's a whole other story here. Yeah.
The Ben Tramer story.
Yeah. So he's right on their trail. So they pull up, and Laurie gets off at the Doyle's house. Yep. And then we see Annie just pulls up, and she just goes in the driveway. The house is pretty much across the street, the 2 houses that they're going to be babysitting at. Michael Myers pulls up on the sidewalk, gets out of the car, goes.
He can't breathe in that thing. If you look closely at the mask, it has no lip breathing, just through the nose.
No. And we haven't really seen the mask fully on yet.
No, which is great.
So we'll describe it a little later. But he's watching from across the street from behind a very narrow tree. He's watching Annie go to the door, and the Wallaces are like, oh, hi, Annie, come on in. And what I do like this little detail, there's trick-or-treaters going by, Erik. Just go by Michael Myers. But you do start to think like, oh, it is Halloween night now, and it's fully dark, and he's in a costume.
Yeah. Yes, we're never really seeing the front of him, too, which is really cool. So John Carpenter's doing a great job of whatever reveal it's going to be for when we see him. And I just keep thinking at this point, why is he following Laurie? Because he's pissed off that she dropped off the keys, because he doesn't want to sell the house. And he just wants to tell her, Dad, look, I don't want to sell. And that's what's happening. He's like, I'm going to just tell her. We don't know why he's following Laurie.
Right.
We just won't.
Exactly. We don't know. But now he's also following Annie, because the house he's looking at right now is the house Annie went into to babysit. But then we're going to, speaking of the Myers house, Erik, that's where we're going now.
Yes,
with the sheriff and with Loomis, they're going to go into the Myers house.
Yes.
And the first thing they notice when they go in, let's talk about this, is I love the low budget stuff, Erik. They're like, what is that? They look off to the side, and we never see what they're looking at.
Mm-mm.
And they're both like their expression is like, what is that? And the sheriff says, is that a dog?
Dead dog, yeah. He got hungry.
What is Loomis? But the sheriff also says it could be a skunk.
Could be a skunk that ate the dog? You know, those killer skunks?
Or is it I was thinking, like, are they thinking it might be a skunk they're looking at, or a dog? So is it a little dog?
I don't know.
Like what?
But he said he got hungry.
And he got hungry. So I'm like, he's eating dogs? He knows to bust into a hardware store.
Yeah.
To get knives.
Oh my God, he didn't grab like a payday.
He didn't grab like a candy bar? Like, he has to.
Right, just eat the dog. Because he doesn't know about Kit Kats. He's been in the psychiatric hospital for so long, he doesn't know what they are.
I was a little like, he's eating dogs. Did he have a taste for dogs? Did he prefer dog over, like,
right?
I mean, he busted in a hardware store. He could have busted into a Wendy's or something, right? Like,
or he could have stopped in the pet store and got a snack, like put gerbils in his pocket. I'll save these for later.
Yeah, but they want to give us that feeling like, ugh. And we go upstairs, and this is the scene of the crime. Yeah. We're in Judith Meyer's room.
And
this is
the sheriff.
This is the center.
The sheriff's like, a man wouldn't do that. This isn't a man.
And this scene, I will say, Erik, for Donald Pleasence, this is good. And this is where he cements the iconic nature. With this scene does a lot here. He's really nervous. We learn he has a gun because we have a jump scare. What would you call this jump scare here while they're talking?
It looks, I think it's from the drain pipe, but it's something smashes into the window. And I try to get a look and I'm like, what is that? It looked like a metal drain pipe or something smash into the window.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
And he gets jumping. He pulls out we see Loomis has a handgun. He has a permit, though.
I do have a permit.
Love that.
I've got a permit. I'll show it to you.
And he's like, you must think me very nervous a person. He's sort of smiling. But then he does this monologue. And I will say every time I watch it, I'm like, Donald Pleasence, you may have been drinking. I don't know what the situation was. But like Quint in Jaws, Robert Shaw, you nailed this.
They did.
You came through and nailed this monologue that he did nail it.
It was
right.
He was 6 years old. Black eyes. I thought he was gonna go eyes black like a doll's eyes till he bites you. Then they roll back white till he bites the dog. Oh.
Yeah.
That's all I got out of that one. He's evil.
Oh, but he delivers it well.
He does.
But the idea that he saw this child and he saw nothing behind the eyes but evil, and that it was just waiting. I think I'm like, okay, this did a lot for this movie. This one moment that Donald Pleasence does here, because it imbues it with something about just the nature of evil, sociopathy, things like that it just sort of brings into this story on a level almost like of a supernatural evil, like base devil evil.
I agree, because you don't know. I love it when they just don't share all the information. So you don't know what the deal is with the kid. Why did he kill the sister? And then he didn't talk ever. And then he gave up on him. And then he's like, no, I got to keep him here. And then how long was he in?
Well, you figure it was 1963 we opened. This is 78.
Yeah.
So we went 73. 15 years.
Something like that. But so he's in a psychiatric ward for 15 years, never saying anything. But we don't know what the deal is. I love it. And so, the number one book to read to kids when you're babysitting.
Well, they love it. They love The Legend of King Arthur.
King Arthur.
That's
great,
their favorite.
Right? But Tommy doesn't like that anymore. He pulls out his porn mags. I'm sorry. He pulls out his...
No.
It feels like that. He's got a dirty secret under the couch, but it's comic book.
His comic books, which they still got the Spalding ads on the back, Erik, just like we were kids.
Yeah.
But I think they're not using any actual comic book names here. Laser Man.
The Flipper. Racer. Human Racer. No,
Yeah. And then one was like the Tarantula.
Tarantula Man. Not to be mixed up with Insect Boy.
But Tommy's still hung up on the Boogeyman.
He's
like, what's the Boogeyman?
Yeah, he wants to know what the Boogeyman is. As he wears his astronaut outfit, I would think they put him in.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I thought it was a combination maybe of Luke Skywalker.
Oh, no,
he's an astronaut.
He's got the flag.
Yeah, he's got an astronaut.
I thought he was going to be dressed as a superhero.
Yeah. And so then Annie calls with some news for Laurie. She's actually got Laurie the hookup with Ben Tramer.
I got Ben Tramer. No. Yes, I did.
And while she's on the phone, Tommy looks out the window, and across the street, this is another iconic shot from this movie, is there's just the shadow of somebody standing to the side of the house, just staring at the house across the street.
Yep. And Annie's got this freaking attack dog that's also she's babysitting.
Yes.
The dog's barking. So we know that the shape is across the street at that house because it's right across the street. And she's a crappy babysitter. Poor Lindsay. Oh,
it's
my
the nightmare
God.
you'd have of your babysitter.
I mean, but it's that passive aggressiveness. She's not like, go to bed. She's like, whatever. So I guess Laurie's got a date for the homecoming dance, which is tomorrow night.
But while Annie's talking, she spills something on herself.
Oh, yeah.
But we also see through the French doors of the kitchen where Annie is, somebody's looking in.
We see the shape. This guy is fast, Art. He is booking it. You know why he's breathing heavy now? Now we know, because he's running from place to place. Like, I gotta get over there, over here. Ooh, he's drinking water. We don't see it. Sucking on that dog.
Well, what this movie wants to do a lot is, like we said, they have this Panaglide Steadicam, so they can do these long shots. So they're doing a lot of like Annie's walking over here and getting milk, or walking over here, people walking over here. And then all of a sudden in the background, he wasn't there before. You'll see the shape in the window looking in with like the white face.
Yes.
In the background. And then they go back again and he's gone.
Yep. The more
Like
you
you
watch
said,
it, the more Michael Myers pop-ups you're going to see that you didn't see before. You're like, oh, shoot,
yes.
oh, shoot. But she's taking off her clothes, Art, because she spilled something on her. But she takes everything off except for the fantastically same underwear that they're all wearing. They must all went to Marshall's and bought it together. But we do not see her breasts, as it says. So she was like, nope, I'm not doing that. But because that's the reason why she has to go to the laundry room. I guess that's the catalyst for the clothes eventually.
Yeah, it's a separate place. And meanwhile, we see Lindsay, who Annie is babysitting, and she's watching the Dr. Dementia horror marathon. And Lindsay, Erik, we're going to have to watch out, because Lindsay is clearly in the future going to have a horror podcast.
Oh my God.
Because she is watching these horror movies hard. Yeah. Lindsay is... It's not like she's sitting there with a scared expression. Mm-mm. She is interested in these movies.
Yeah, she's plotting.
She's watching.
She's plotting the future. That's what she's doing. Yeah. And I do want to point out that Annie puts on what I imagine is Lindsay's dad's shirt.
Mr. Wallace's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now she's just got that shirt on, like, it's the after sex shirt. Look, I'm wearing your shirt.
That's the thought I had. Yeah, that they were going for there.
A little creepy.
And she has like the knee-high socks too.
Oh my God!
Which all the women seem to have in these too.
They all do.
They all seem to have that. Yeah.
Yeah. But the dog goes outside and is barking, and then we hear.
And we see it. We see the dog's legs go limp. Now, I was looking at it going, this is a really low-budget movie. I was like, how did they do this? What is that? It's a pretty good-looking dog's legs effect. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like, you would think, but he does. Poor Lester. Lester's the dog's name.
Yeah, Lester.
He's gone.
Michael killed him. We don't see it. We just see from the wing.
Now, is Michael going to get a little snack here, too?
I'm thinking his cardio has been way up, and he needs to... He needs the protein.
Because I was like, dogs. Oh, Lester. I'm like...
Yeah, 2 dogs and a mechanic so far. He's killed more animals
than people so far in the movie.
Yeah.
So, and then we cut quickly back over to Laurie and Tommy, and we have some more conversation about the boogeyman.
Yep.
So we're getting this idea, like I said, we have Loomis talking about evil, but Tommy is expressing it as the boogeyman.
Yeah.
And so we're getting this idea of evils that are out there, supernatural type stuff.
Yep. And so all the time, the only thing on TV on Halloween is the original Thing.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool, because did John Carpenter know he was going to do the Thing when he was doing this?
Clearly, yeah. It has that opening just like in his movie with the Thing.
Yeah. And is this Tommy's first Halloween or not? It feels to me, where's the candy, Art? Where's the effing candy? Did he go trick-or-treating? Popcorn is not candy. I don't see any candy. But he does say, Laurie does go, what did he look like? Like the guy. And Tommy's like, the boogeyman. I just told you. He looked like the boogeyman. Do I have to explain it?
So we cut back over at Annie's in this sort of detached house, and it looks like they have their laundry in. That's where they do the laundry conveniently. They put their laundry not in the main house.
Right.
Because it's a big house. That big house.
What are you being punished by going to do the laundry? What happens in the winter, Art? You just not do your laundry?
Yeah, it's like that thing of Erik, oh, wow, we've been renting all our lives where we had to go out and do the laundry, and we finally bought this nice house in suburbia, but we're going to put our laundry where we have to go out and do it.
It's a brisk walk.
But Annie goes out there, and once again, we're getting all of these shots. She's going over, getting the detergent, and then, woo, he's in the background. And then suddenly he's not in the background.
Always see him in the background. And no one sees him except for Tommy, because everybody's too busy eating their candy, Art.
Well, Tommy's worried about the boogeyman.
Yeah, because he didn't get any candy.
To see him. Yeah.
And why do all the girls talk to themselves? Even our Annie's like, no tricks for Annie tonight. I'm like, who are you talking to? And also, Art, you know how laundry rooms, when you go in there, you can lock yourself in, because that's how doors are made, right?
Yeah. She gets stuck. Annie's stuck.
Yourself in the laundry room.
Annie's stuck and she can't get out, and she's screaming, but Lindsay's full into the thing from another world on the TV. Yeah.
Yep. And what I love is Lindsay, how many times does a phone ring in Halloween? It's maddening. It's the same phone as that old phone, right? And the phone rings and she's like, hello. And it's Paul. He's like, hey, can I talk to Annie? He's like, she's in the laundry room right now. He's like, okay, well, she hangs up the phone. I'll tell her. And she hangs up the phone.
Yeah. I like Lindsay. I think Lindsay's
I thought Lindsay was a throwaway, but it's not.
Yeah.
No,
she's good. Every time I see it, I like Lindsay a lot
she's
more.
Doing something on Netflix for sure. You can tell that she's got her own Netflix show by now.
Yeah.
But you can see Michael behind her, right?
Yeah, but Michael is also so Nancy, Annie's trying to get out and she's stuck. She's stuck in this window. So when you're watching this movie the first time, you're like, oh boy, God, she's stuck. And this killer's out here. He's gonna kill her in this window while she's stuck.
Yep. And she's Winnie the Pooh stuck. Like she's halfway out and she's like, oh bother.
And then Lindsay comes in and gives her a hard time.
Yes.
Because she's like, you're locked yourself in.
Dummy. But we see the underwear, of course, which is the little flowers and stuff. And how many freaking potted plants do you need, Art?
In the laundry room, Erik.
And outside,
in the laundry room, yeah.
The mom or the dad has got an addiction to potted plants. There's like 50 potted plants out there.
What?
My God.
Yeah. Lindsay saves her. And from maybe she was going to get killed. I don't know. It wasn't even like a close thing where they're like, show the knife about to hit her. And then Lindsay pulls her back in. Then Annie's like, promise me you won't tell anybody about this because it's so embarrassing. And Lindsay's like, okay. And
sure I won't. Lindsay's like, sure I won't.
And I like that they as they come in, right? They come into the house and Lindsay picks up the thing and she says to Paul, who's on the phone, she got locked in the laundry room outside. Yep. She just right away does it.
And I don't know. I remember this, but you might Jolly Time popcorn is on the.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. Like,
I think they were doing a fake product.
Okay, it was like a can of popcorn.
Yeah,
because she was a can. You could. Yeah.
And we cut on the TV. What I like at this moment in the background, Erik, you hear whoever's hosting this Dr. Dementia, I guess is what it is. And they go, lock your doors, both your windows.
Yes. And I swear to God, Art, this is the voice from Halloween 3. Hurry, children. Hurry. It's about to begin. I really think I want to research. It could be, out if it's the same guy, because John Carpenter didn't do Halloween 3, but I think it's the same voice.
Yeah, because
but
it's fun to have that in the background as we know this killer is all around the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we have finally PJ Souls comes back into play, right?
Well, no. First, Annie's gonna take Lindsay over because she wants to go get Paul. And Lindsay doesn't want to go. Lindsay wants to watch the movies. And so Annie's like, hey, how about I make a deal with you? We go over and you can watch the movies with Tommy while I go to get Paul. And Lindsay's like, all right, cool. I think Lindsay likes Tommy. So she's like, cool. Yeah, go over.
Yeah. And we don't see her bring any gear. Lindsay doesn't bring any gear over, just pointing it out.
No, she's just going over, I think, to just be over there. I think the idea is,
We'll talk about that when we get there, but yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
And so she brings Lindsay over there. So she's going to go back to the Wallace's house, Annie, to get her car and go and get Paul. But she's going around. She sings to herself too because she's going to get.
God.
This is another girl like singing. My Paul,
Love the
my Paul. Da, 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 da.
Right.
She sometimes just makes up lines.
Oh my God. Paul,
I-
he's just down the hall.
Yes.
He's not very
I no
tall.
longer stall. Like stall is one of the lyrics.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's singing to herself as she's going. She goes out to the car, but realizes, I like this, improvises the song, Erik. She goes, my Paul. And the car's locked. And she goes, no keys.
No keys.
So please, my Paul. I did like that little
It's
bit.
good. They probably,
She does.
because copyright, they couldn't afford to have
A real
them
song.
sing
Yeah,
real
yeah.
songs.
So-
They just make some
yeah.
shit up. My Paul.
But the no keys, so she has to go back in the house.
Yep. And we
And,
see
get
the
the
shot
keys,
of freaking the shape popping up from behind a car. Like this guy, man.
Yes. Yeah, he's out in the thing. And every time we should say, whenever he pops up in the background, we get the sting, the music sting. Like, yeah.
Which lives on.
So
And
she does grab her keys
She does.
and heads out.
It's heads
Yeah.
out. We see the one pumpkin. That's it. Nobody, either they didn't have a budget or nobody decorates their house for Halloween. It's
Yeah.
one pumpkin, no other decorations. And
Yeah, you would not know that this neighborhood was Halloween. And I can tell you, I live out here in California now. As much as it's not New England, like we think of where you live, Salem, right?
Oh yeah,
They like Halloween out here. People decorate. People are decorated now. We're at the beginning of October right now talking about this.
Yep.
People put up their decorations
Yeah,
out.
I keep thinking budget. They're like, we got these 6 pumpkins. We're just going to reuse them.
Mm-hmm.
But she gets
Yeah.
in the car, which is in the garage, right?
But
It's all
she's
fogged up.
not thinking. But she opens it and it's not locked.
No.
She just opens the door, and I don't think she even clocks it in the second that it happens. We do as the audience. We're like, wait, wasn't that door just locked? And when she gets in, like you said, what's on the windshield?
I
All the
love
condensation.
that they have to telegraph it for her. She's like, ear. We know it's fogged up. Give me a break.
And then this is our first. We're a long way into the movie
More
at
than
this
halfway.
point, Erik.
More than halfway.
More than halfway, and we get our first sort of on-screen human kill. Well, I shouldn't say that. At the beginning, we saw Judith murdered in the opening scene.
Oh, right.
His sister. But this is a long way in here. And it's pretty brutal, I would say, this
It's
sequence.
brutal, but done really well. Because if you watch any remakes, you're like, this isn't brutal. But he grabs her and he starts strangling her. He strangles her for a little bit. And we can now see the mask. We're like, ooh, what is that? It's like a creepy white mask. It's like a stoic face and this weird, shortish brown hair. And then he slits her throat.
Yeah.
But we don't
I was
see
going to
him-
say,
We don't see him slit it. So
it's hard to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's doing a really good job. Apparently, they filmed it all in one take with her thrashing around, and she's trying to beep the horn.
Yeah.
Annie, like she's trying to beep the horn for help. And suddenly, cuts her. It's a ripping sound or something. And then her eyes, good for Nancy Loomis, this actress, her eyes, the way they kind of open wide and her mouth opens and it heads towards the window. And we're seeing it from outside the window. It's kind of creepy. And
It's a good kill. It's a good job. And so is this where we talk about the mask or do we wait? Because we have seen now sort of the front of the mask, right?
We've seen it. Yeah. We can talk about it here because I think we're fully seeing the mask. This is probably the first closer up idea we've got of this mask.
So for nobody, if you haven't seen Halloween, you're like, what does this mask look like, everyone? So it's a full mask. So it goes over the whole head and it's got a neck. So there's a slit in the back and it's just the face. And what it looks like is a completely white face with a little bit of eyebrow and sort of closed lips. And then the brown hair, short hair, kind of strewn about a little bit. And then you can't see into the eyes. They're just the eye holes, but you can never see his eyes. So really scary. However, not having a budget, like we can't have Morris Costume Company make us a mask. So somebody's like, hey, how about this? And they took they took a Captain Kirk mask. So William Shatner as Captain Kirk. They painted it white and teased the hair. And that thing is a frickin' frightening mask. And only in Halloween could they make it this cool, in my opinion. Because so many movies later, they could never replicate the mask because they didn't make it anymore. And the guy who was playing the shape would stuff it in his pocket when he wasn't wearing it. Like it was nothing.
So the hair would get a little disheveled.
He would just be put in his pocket. Yeah. He didn't realize it was going to become the world's most iconic slasher face, you know? Crazy.
Because I know we're not talking about like all these later movies, Erik, but yeah, the mask is always a little different in subsequent movie. There's always a little different.
They couldn't reproduce it. They had
like the eye holes are different sizes.
If you go down that rabbit hole, Art, it's so many. They were able to capture it later, but this
one, there's something primal in its neutrality, blankness, and the white just really hits on the level that's working with the things they're introducing this movie. Like I told you, the boogeyman or a sociopath, somebody that has no feelings and it's coming for you as a monster. And I think it all gelled perfectly with the themes and what this, but like you said, not because they necessarily planned it, but because of low budget ideas. There was another mask that was in the running too that was, we all know it as like a sort of a sad clown mask, like a sad, depressed clown mask that they were going to do the same treatment of. It wasn't going to be a clown. It was going to be whitened up a little bit like that. They went with this, and good for them because it's really iconic and works so well.
It is. And you can see a little bit of his skin because the mask just stops here. It's like just so well done. So now we're in the house with Tommy and Lindsay. Lindsay's not wearing a costume. She doesn't give a poop.
No, but they're watching Forbidden Planet. We got some Leslie Nielsen on the screen, Erik.
Yeah.
In his mode of before he was Naked Gun. Yeah.
Serious mode. Serious. He didn't do any of his farting like this. Just podcasters, listeners, this will be the only time I use this voice box, so I got to milk it. I'm sorry.
So, and then there's this little theme that runs throughout this movie. We've already said it a few times where everybody's entitled to a scare. It's Halloween, so everybody can scare. So Tommy's going to try and scare Lindsay,
who is focused on this movie. He's next to her. He gets up and goes behind the curtains, right behind the couch.
She's a horror fan, Erik. Lindsay is a horror fan.
She's doing what we do. She's writing down notes.
Yes. I know, seriously. So he goes up around behind the curtains that are hanging, the floor-to-ceiling curtains that are there. And we get a great sound on the TV. It's not going to be John Carpenter's score. It's going to be the sound design from the Forbidden Planet, right? And it's wow, like that. You'd think of it as like 50s, 60s alien sounds. And Tommy turns around and he looks across the street and we see the shadow of the shape carrying Annie's body around the house.
We actually see him carrying it. He's carrying. Yeah. We see him walking in the house. Awesome. It's like, that's not on Forbidden Planet, right? Where they're carrying the girl and she's like, iconic.
Yeah, I come to think of it.
Maybe that was
that's a good call, Erik. That's a good call.
Maybe that was on purpose. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that was on purpose. But I love that it's not even John Carpenter's score. It's the sound for the TV, and it's otherworldly. Yep. And he's watching this happen.
Yeah, and he's got to tell the babysitter. And what I love is, for the most part, Laurie's not like, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. But he says the boogeyman's outside, and she says, well, there's nobody out there. But I'm thinking, Laurie, kid, you saw this thing 3 times today, and now the kid says he sees somebody outside. You're not thinking at all, maybe it's that guy, I should call the police. Nope. She's like, don't worry, I'll take care of you. You guys are all set. Don't worry. Let's watch horror movies. Yeah.
But what's interesting, Lindsay says, I believe you, Tommy.
Yeah. Lindsay's like,
She
I
believes
know
him.
what's out there, Tommy. It's also in here, Tommy. It's in me. She starts breathing heavy.
Yeah.
But no
So then-
costume. Still no costume.
We're going to keep up with our theme of people trying to scare people here, Erik, because we're going to cut to the Myers house. And Dr. Loomis is hiding out in the trees by the Myers house, and a bunch of kids. Are they the bullies we saw earlier today?
Probably.
It's those kids.
Probably.
These young kids come up, and one of them's like, Lonnie, go up to the house. Lonnie, go up to the Myers house on Halloween. Now, I believe this would be something a bunch of kids would dare each other to do on Halloween in this town, is go up to the Myers house. And one of them goes up, and Sam Loomis decides, what does he do, Erik?
He cups his hands like this. He's like, hey, get your ass away from there. So uncharacteristic. He snickers like it's the funniest thing he's ever done. Like,
He has a little laugh for himself afterwards because the kids go running off. He even says the name, Lonnie.
yeah.
Hey, Lonnie.
Lonnie. And while we're at those names, I don't like the remake, but the last remake, they bring back all these characters. So Lonnie exists, like whatever it is, so many years later when they're all adults. So yeah, and then we get Sheriff Jump Scare.
Yeah, the sheriff. So it's this layered thing, Erik, of we just saw Tommy trying to scare somebody. Dr. Loomis is trying to scare somebody. And the sheriff scares somebody. It's kind of a running thing in this movie about like, it's Halloween, so you scare people, but there's this bigger terror going on. I think that they're layering through this movie.
But the sheriff nails it. He's like, it's trick-or-treating, parking, getting high. Like, you mean like your daughter? Like your daughter?
I know. Daughter Annie, yeah. And what I like here, Erik, is Loomis starts going into a monologue again, like just like the one he did before. And the sheriff kind of cuts him off, then he said, did I tell you 15 years? 15 years. And we as the audience are like, yep, we're pretty, we've established this now. It's almost like he's a broken record.
Yeah. Death has come. He's like a harbinger. He's the harbinger, Art. Death has come.
He is the harbinger.
Down. Beware the night. And the sheriff's not quite believing him. He's like, I hope you're not right. And he says, but if you are, you brought it here, buddy.
Yeah, we have all these families here, he says to Loomis, and you're telling me they're lined up for a slaughter? But what's interesting about the movie is I remember when I first saw this movie as a kid, like, I remember that line might have been in the trailer or something, and my imagination of this movie was like, oh my God, this guy's gonna, whatever this is gonna kill tons of people. No, but it's so much more contained to just these couple of people. But my imagination of it before I saw it as a kid was devastation. Like it was going to kill a whole town.
I do remember the trailer. So I remember bits of the trailer. I'm like, oh, geez, this looks terrifying. And probably when I first saw it, I was like, yep, it is.
Oh, it is.
Well, my attention span is so much shorter now that I'm like, let's go, walk, get out of there.
But now we're going to cut over because Linda enters the picture in a van, cool 70s van, with her 45-year-old boyfriend, Bob.
Oh, my God. PJ Souls is back. Totally. She's totally back. And it is Linda. It's been so long.
Linda.
I forgot her name. Jeez.
Linda, yeah.
Yeah. And he has outrageous glasses and a fantastic blue sex van is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That van, he must have some money because that van is decorated.
He might actually do custom decoration.
He might,
that's
but
part
the
of his
glasses,
advertising.
They're like your glasses are with it's huge. It's just huge.
So they park out front and there's all this dialogue. She's got her totally, and they're drinking beers. Like they drove up drinking the old Budweiser cans, Erik. I don't know if they were the extra tall ones, I think, that they used to have, but they're drinking already.
And he's carrying her in the house. He's like, oh, stop it. This is silly. And they are so horny, Art.
It mirrors the first opening shot we saw through the window. They go onto the couch and start making nookie right on the couch, which is what Michael saw through the window downstairs at the very opening of the movie.
Yeah, and their dialogue is we don't know that they're horny, so they have to make sure they tell us. It's like, first I rip your clothes off, And she's like, don't rip my blouse. It's expensive. And he's like, then I rip my clothes off. I'm like, oh my God, you guys. What?
And then he says, and then we both rip Lindsay's clothes
Right.
off.
Because he's got, yeah.
But
oh shit, he said Lindsay.
yes,
No,
not
he
Annie.
didn't.
He didn't say Annie.
Oh my
He said Lindsay.
God, this got completely missed by me. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
He said, oh, geez.
Lindsay.
And then she's like, I'm out of here. Bye, pedophile. Nope.
Yeah.
Wow. But Michael's watching him. He's watching in the house.
Not that far away. The
Yeah.
camera pulls back watching them make out on the couch, and he is like basically in the doorway.
Don't you think they would hear his heavy breathing, Art? Does he hold his breath? Like he knows he's a heavy breathing. Is he like,
He's very, very quiet.
but
Yeah.
they must know he's there. Come on.
Yeah. And they're making out on the couch,
Mhm.
like we said. But then we're going to go over to Laurie's house, and they're doing like a procession with their pumpkin out to the living room.
Yeah.
And they're going like, da, 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 da. It's very solemn.
It's a solemn festival, Art. It's the festival of the dead. And I'm pretty sure, because I'm a pumpkin observer, I'm
Mhm.
almost 100% sure this is the pumpkin from the opening titles. Because it has the same pockmarks on the side of it. So, well, they had like 6 pumpkins. They got to use one of them.
Right. But we're going to cut back over. Bob and Linda are making out in the Wallace's bedroom upstairs. Speaking of pumpkins, the Wallace have an actual jack-o'-lantern on their bedside table next
Yeah.
to their bed.
Yep. This left
The
it-
Wallaces.
Yeah,
But
they left
it's
it-
an actual pumpkin with a flame inside,
Yeah.
right? With
Yeah.
a candle.
And as a
Yeah.
pumpkin jack-o'-lantern guy, that candle lasts about an hour and a half. That's it. It's a tea light candle. You can't put a bigger candle in there. So that candle's when did they light it? I don't know.
And they're making out, and we get a shadow across the wall. A shadow goes across
Yes.
with our sound effect sting right there as it goes across. And they finish up. They took about slightly longer, I think, than our guys at the beginning.
This
They
is
took-
another shorty. This is now we see that apparently sex for these teenagers is about, I mean, when all said and done, the actual act is probably about 49 to 52 seconds. And it's satisfying for both of them, right? And there's lots of phones ringing in this movie.
Yes. Yeah.
Stop with the phones.
But they don't answer it because they can't, because they're not supposed to be there. Annie's out,
So
you know.
They take it off the
and-
hook. Remember when you could take a phone
Yeah.
off the hook? The problem with that is it
Mhm.
goes like that. Unplug it, dummies. But we
Bob
see,
goes down to the kitchen to get a beer because you'll
and we
just
see-
take the stuff that belongs to the family, I guess.
But we see PJ Souls. We see her boobs. We got boobs.
Not much though. It's not a lot.
There's some boobs there.
Yeah, okay.
But they're both smoking because they're so cool. And what I love is when he goes to get the beer, is we spend so much time on PJ Souls' just satisfaction with the 90-second event. Did you notice that? She's like, I'm like, what is going on here? So satisfying.
And so he goes down to get the beer, and we get kind of the misdirections here. It's very suspenseful. If you haven't seen the movie, you're like, he hears something. He goes over, he opens up a closet door, and there's nothing there. So he closes it up. He goes over to the other one. And I think what your mind is thinking, oh, he's going to open this one. It's going to be nothing again. But the shape comes out of there and grabs him, goes across, boom, puts him up against the wall. And this is where we start to see, I think this is the first time we've seen the strength. Because does he have one hand on the guy's neck? And he lifts him up. He starts to slide him up the wall. We see the guy's feet are coming off the ground. And so we're like, oh, Michael's strong.
Yeah, and he was fast too. He came right out, grabbed him. And then he takes that kitchen knife, the pumpkin slicer, and he stabs him in the chest and then lets go. And he's still hanging on the wall. And I love it. But I'm just thinking, man, that is one long ass kitchen knife right now because you could see half of it sticking out still.
And they're doing the thing. They're clearly shining some sort of special light instrument on the knife because it's a nice framed shot and the knife is glowing blue sort of in the moonlight or wherever the light is coming from. It doesn't make sense logistically or naturally if you think about it, but with the way everything's set up, but it's clearly there. And then we have, which a little choice they make here that's kind of lived on in the Halloween, when you think about Halloween, is Michael's reaction to looking at this guy.
Yep. Apparently, John, which I like, is John Carpenter said, hey, just tilt your head a little bit. But he did. And ever since then, not only has Michael Myers done the head tilt, but I even did it in a horror movie. And I was like, shoot, can I think of something else? I'm like, turn my head. But it's just a nod to that. Who knew that one movement was going to be?
Yeah, Michael just,
he's admiring
what's behind
his work.
it, you don't know. Yeah, he's admiring his work, or he's just contemplating it. And it's just very, very,
he's like,
just an
I wonder if I
odd
can sell
offset.
it. Like it's an object of art. He's like, I wonder if I could go to a museum with this. It looks pretty cool.
John Carpenter really liked this kill and the framing of all of this, apparently.
great.
He liked that. Yeah. So we're going to cut back upstairs because Linda's still upstairs waiting for her beer.
She's waiting for that beer.
She wants her beer.
Yep.
Yeah. And the door opens. And this is where I'm going to ask you, Erik. Is Michael Myers low-key, does he have a sense of humor? Seriously.
He's got a little funny bone in him. He would have been a stand-up comic if he wasn't in an institution for 15 years. But yeah, he's standing in the doorway. I have to work this out in my head. So,
yeah.
He kills the boy, kills Bob.
Yes.
He's looking at the body. So here's what he was doing. He's like, what can I do here? My God, look at those glasses. So he takes off Bob's glasses and he goes, I'm going to go back up there and kill her. But wait, no, and he goes the linen closet, pulls out a sheet, a white sheet. He goes, I'll put this, I got to cut holes in it. He cuts ghost holes in it. He takes the time to find a pair of scissors, cuts the holes in it, puts the glasses on over that, makes sure
the glasses.
Right. They're over the ghost. He looks in the mirror to make sure that everything's good. Then he walks up the stairs in full ghost costume and stands in the doorway.
Yeah, he opens it up and he's standing there. So I was like he has a little bit of a, number one, artistry behind himself. He's got a sense of craft and a sense of style, but also a little bit of humor. He's a little funny.
Probably because he's still repressed because he was just a kid. So he doesn't know he's still a kid. Yeah. And he's standing there and...
So she assumes it's Bob, of course.
See anything you like?
Yeah. Improvised by her, I guess, by PJ Souls.
It starts funny. I mean, when you're first like this, you're like, well, this is funny. But then he doesn't ever say anything. So it starts
just standing there.
Spooky, right? It turns spooky, even though it looks
he's perfectly still.
It looks like
perfectly
the
still and not moving.
That's what it looks like. It looks like one of the Dietzes dressed as a ghost from Beetlejuice is standing there. That's how funny it looks, but it's not. It gets scary. So she's going to go call Laurie, and she's open-shirted, by the way. So PJ Souls doesn't care. She's like, no, I showed him once. I'll show him again.
Yeah, exactly.
She goes to call Laurie, and she gets strangled from behind with the cord.
And so Laurie's hearing it, and the movie has set up before that, like with Annie with the chewing, Laurie's had some phone calls so she just assumes they're pranking her. Laurie's hearing, but we're really seeing Linda's getting killed, like she's getting strangled. And I do like this, like you said, the scene is slowly built from a little bit weird and funny to pretty brutal and serious. And then at the end, Laurie's talking the phone and he stands up into the frame with the full mask. We just get to see the mask and he has I love how he looks at the phone like, listen to this. And
he does.
He's listening with the phone with his mask on.
Yeah. And you can see it's a little bit like the direction, but when she's being choked, she pulls the sheet and then it's reveal that it's him.
Yeah.
Really cool. Never says a thing. Just breathe.
Never says a thing. And even in that close-up, Erik, you can't see the eyes. You can't see his eyes.
And this is the clear shot of the mask now. We get full mask.
Well, okay. So let's go across the street. Laurie looks out. And this is another strange thing. She sees the lights on the house, the Wallace house. They go on and then they go off. So my thought is Michael Myers is trying to do stuff over there. He's like, shit, it's too fucking dark. And he's got to turn the lights on for a second and then go, okay, I'll turn them back off. That was my thought.
Yes. And all of the lights go on.
Yes.
So does he have the clapper? Is he like, and turns them all on because, there's no Alexa. So what is going on there?
And she checks in, and Lindsay and Tommy are asleep in the bed.
Yeah, and Lindsay has no problem sleeping in the same bed. She's like, I don't care. And she apparently fits into Tommy's pajamas because she did not bring any.
No.
He's got extra PJs. Lindsay needs her own show, right? Lindsay needs a movie.
I guess those kids just got tuckered out really fast, and they're
100%. I'm forgetting now, and I won't watch it again. But Lindsay's definitely in the remake.
Quick cut back to Loomis is outside the house, and he hasn't noticed that basically across the street from him, the station wagon has been parked there the entire night. He just now noticed. He sort of looks over and he's like, oh, there's the station wagon. He runs down to it.
I shouldn't have scared those little kids up paying attention.
So he knows that Michael must be in the area. So we see he's going to go off and look around. And this is where the movie's getting scary now, but they're going to use that Panaglide camera, Erik, to basically follow Laurie all the way across the street to the Wallace's house, but with John Carpenter's score underneath. As he's approaching the house.
Is it the dun 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 dun, or is it the other one?
I think it's the dee 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 as she's crossing the street. But if you're watching this for the first time, the dread that's building up, I can imagine audiences, Erik, back then going, don't go. What are you doing? You're heading over to that house. Don't go over that house. So we're watching it now. We've seen it, you and I, 100 times, right? But I can imagine that those first audiences basically, my God, stop. Don't go over there as she's taking that long walk across the street.
Yep.
So I think it works for the movie, but I don't know in rewatches and as time has gone on, if audiences watching will be like, "Oh my God, this seems so long." That she's walking
I just
across
think that's
the street.
that's because where we are now is we need things to move a little quicker. But it's still, when I watched it, I was still into it. I'm going good, cool. She's got the keys in her pocket, so she locked herself. She locked the doors because she's a good babysitter, like fucking Annie.
Yeah. So she goes across. She has to go around the back door.
Yeah.
And it's open.
Yeah.
Those French doors that go into the kitchen area, which you've seen a lot in this movie, they're open. So she comes inside.
And that's where Bob was killed. So
but he's not there.
But we're thinking, is he around here? It's a lot of suspense.
The whole time we're thinking he could be anywhere because he's been popping up all over the movie in these places. Yeah. So you are at this point in the movie. The movie has primed you to be, he could be around any corner. But she gets to the staircase. She goes up, and this is where the movie is playing with light. It's getting darker, but it's very shot. Gene Cundy, the cinematographer, he'd go on to do everything from Roger Rabbit to Back to the Future to Jurassic Park. But this is one of his early movies. And he just talks about them really trying in this section of the movie to play with darkness and light and shadows here as she goes up these stairs.
Yep. And it's POV again. So it's a lot of POVs. And what is cool is with all that darkness, Art, you get the bedroom door is lit.
With orange.
Yeah, really cool.
Yes.
That pumpkin sheds a lot of light, apparently.
Yeah. So, like you said, blue lights. She's got a blue shirt on, Laurie, everything, but the light shining from that door is like an orangish glow. So Laurie approaches down the hallway, opens that door, and we see she's seeing what's in there.
Yes. And her reaction is not overdone because so many people and then you get she's like freaked out, but not crazy over the top. And on the bed is our favorite, our pick, Annie. And she's in the same shirt, but she's on the bed with her arms splayed out. She's lying on the bed. Are her legs crossed?
Her legs are sort of together, but to one side. Sort of like,
throat slit, but we don't really see it. And then here's...
Now we know why you had to keep turning the lights on. this is a lot to arrange, Erik.
I hope this went off well and Laurie was really scared because he went through a lot of work to make this happen. Remember the tombstone? He took the tombstone of his sister and put it at the head of the bed. So just point out, I did a little research on a tombstone. Your average tombstone is minimal 200 plus pounds. So figure a 400-pound headstone for this. So
because it's a big headstone. We should say it is not a small headstone.
And he's got to think that he's some kind of like performance artist, or, the people who like throw paint against the walls and put styrofoam heads up. Because why would he carry around a headstone? Where was the headstone? Where was he keeping it, Art? Was it in the laundry
he's a
room?
station wagon. I guess it must have been in the back.
No, the tires would be blown
out. The tires would have been.
Did not drive that thing around. No. I've had bags of sand in my car, and my car's like, okay, that's enough. No way. There's no way. But that's what we see on the bed for no particular reason.
And here's where it must really, like I said, this is where you get, it's tough to divorce yourself from the idea of I've seen it a million times. But somebody watching this for the first time, taking it seriously, you're like, your brain is like, what am I looking at? What is happening here? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we realize he's really put some work into this at this point, because
so fast.
She backs up against it looks like a cabinet or a wardrobe or something that might be open
against the wall, and there's some kind of closet sort of next to her or something.
And we hear something, and Bob, without his glasses,
no glasses.
Bob swings down, upside down, his thing swings down, his arms flapping, going, I mean, that was set up really well, I have to say. It looks like Bob, it was triggered by some type of lever. Like it must have, like it wasn't like Laurie did something and it fell. I think did Jason like tie some sheets together and he's outside? Jason, I'm sorry, Michael Myers. Michael Myers is outside the room going like, okay, I think she might be by the door. Like, and he pulled the lever?
Yep.
Like, what?
Yeah, he had to have done something. He like put a pole through the wall. And he's like, and how did he hang this guy up? Is it on one of those like coat?
He did get rope from the hardware store. We do know that.
He did get rope because he's like, whoever I kill, I'm going to hang him up eventually in a closet.
So that's scary. That sends her to the other part of the room where there's a cabinet. And the cabinet door also opens on its own. So Michael Myers stopped by Erik Rodenheiser's workshop and got some invisible string so he could pull the cabinet door open.
Oh my God. He's got like a magnet release system or something. He's like, yep, as soon as she steps on this rug, if she steps on this rug, it'll release the pressure and it'll open up. Yeah.
And Linda's in the cabinet with a very weird expression on her face.
Not the best choice. Her eyes are open. And it's like,
it's a little almost like a little cross-eyed type of a look. She's like,
And
like
here's where I'm thinking that PJ Souls was like, you know what? I've showed my boobs already. Let's just keep doing it. She's proud of her boobs. Let her show them. You know what I mean? And then she backs up against another wall with an open door.
But
right?
I did want to mention Jamie Lee lets out a scream here. And
all right, you said it. You said
what?
Scream.
Yeah.
Does it sound like that? Was it that?
But it's a good scream, I have to say.
It sounds like there's more than one scream in there. It sounds like they mixed
But she lets out a scream and leaves the room, like you said. She sort of goes out into the other, like a landing out there, and then she backs up against an archway of a door. Doesn't continue down the stairs to run out of the house.
No, she doesn't run out of the house when she first sees a tombstone and her best friend on the bed. Nope. No, she doesn't.
And even after she's seen two other people dead.
Other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a little paralyzed. Maybe she doesn't know if anybody's there. I don't know. But I don't care because it gives us the great shot from this movie. The absolute, do we call it just the iconic shot, which I'm sure sent audiences screaming, is she's backed up against a wall. There's an archway of a doorway behind her. So the room or whatever's behind her is black, just blackness behind her. And then that mask just emerges from the inky blackness
so slowly
behind her.
So slowly.
slowly it just appears. So the lighting on that, I guess they got it just right with a blue tinted light to fly on that mask,
Yeah,
and they
raised
practiced it.
They dimmed
Yeah.
it. They made it so it could give more.
Yeah, they had a dimmer.
And just simple
Yeah.
shit like that, Art. It's so good. You don't have to go crazy. It's such it's a floating head. I think that made me do a haunted house where I did a floating head, probably because of this one.
And he comes out, and she at the same time starts to move forward, though. And she moves to the banister railing, and I thought he'd have a better aim than this, but he comes down with the knife behind her, but just sort of gets her sleeve enough to rip it off and give her a little cut on her arm.
Slightest cut ever. It's almost like you got a paper cut. But I guess they needed to show a little bit of skin, and she's like, how about my shoulder? Like, okay.
Yeah.
And now all this is set up, Art. He's killed 3 people. He's made this beautiful masterpiece. You know, he's probably got to charge admission for people to come in and see it. And then he waits in the archway thinking, well, she's got to come back here. She's going to come back here. Do you think he's looking at his watch if he has one, or is he's meditating? He's like, she's got to.
Because like I said, what if she just ran out? She ran down the staircase and had run out.
Exactly. She opens the door. She sees her dead friend in the tombstone. It's like, ah! And she runs down the stairs. And then he comes out with the knife going,
screaming.
What? Oh, fuck. Oh, God damn it. And he drags her back up there to look at the bodies. Look what I was going to do. This guy's going to hang out.
But he does get her, and she falls over the railing, and they do it. Low budget filmmaking, do what you do. They do the great camera shot, Erik, of everything. They're clearly just moving the camera, showing you her POV of falling down the staircase, and it works. She kind of lands really hard on the bottom of the staircase.
Yes. And for music wise, this is where we're like getting dun 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 dun. Wow. It's awesome. And he's walking.
He's at the top of the staircase. Great shot of him backlit at the top of the staircase. And she's got to get up, and we can tell she's injured. So she's limping, and she goes to get out front door. She can't get out. I guess
it's locked, Art.
I guess it's locked from the outside.
Try the kitchen.
Yeah. This house is weird. There's a lot of locking from the outside.
Yeah.
But then she runs back to the kitchen area. She closes the door just in time. She goes to those French doors we've seen back there, and he's got a rake. He's put in the, after I guess she came in from the outside. So she can't open those doors.
Okay. So all right, she comes in, right? She hears the noise upstairs. She goes upstairs. Okay. So Michael Myers, the shape, he opens a window. He crawls down the lattice work really quick, runs over, grabs a rake from the shed, puts it up against the doors. And then he sneaks up the stairs while she's in the room with all the bodies and hides in the archway after locking the other doors from the outside.
But also he's got to get up there because he's got to pull those levers and invisible strings too. So he's got to get.
I think there's another Mike Myers that he's like got a friend or something.
Ooh, or Lindsay's helping him.
Oh my God, Lindsay's in on it.
Yeah.
But it's a great scene where he breaks through. She's locked the kitchen door, breaks through the kitchen door with his fist, reaches around and unlocks it. And what I like is, for whatever reason, when he opens that door, he still has his hand in the hole that he made. And then once he's in the room, he kind of looks and takes his hand out. And I thought that just makes it so much scarier in a way, because he's able to do all these contraptions. Yeah. But yet he's like, I should probably take my hand out of the door. But it's still scary.
Yeah.
And this is where she gets the idea she's like, oh, if he's going to break something, I'll break the glass.
Yeah.
Should have done that 5 minutes ago, Laurie.
I know. But then I can see where you'd put that off for as long as you could, because you might injure your hand.
Mm-hmm.
But she gets out. She's running around. And this is where you're like, the neighbors are dicks.
Oh my God.
She runs on the porch of the house next door, and she's screaming bloody murder. And somebody clearly looks out the window and then closes their blinds and shuts the light off on her.
Yeah, it's those Halloween kids, you can't trust them.
But I remember watching this. That's another one, Erik. You always say the movie you want to see. The people who are in their house going like, and then later when they find out what happened, going like,
oh, jeez. And they had to know her because they're freaking neighbors. It's not like it's a huge neighborhood. They're like, that's Laurie out there. Oh, she's probably drunk. I mean,
so she's like, oh my God, I got to go back across the street to the Wallace's house. And this is the other classic shot, Erik. Michael Myers comes from around the Wallace's house and he's just walking steadily across the street while she's trying to get the keys. You said she remembered her keys, but they're in her tight jeans.
Yeah.
So she got to get her hands in those pockets.
But now Michael Myers is just like, no, I don't care who sees me. Just he's not hiding anymore.
So we're cutting back and forth. He's getting closer and closer. They're cheating a little bit here. I think he's a little too close sometimes. But she, like you said, the people got to say things on here. She's like, the keys. She's reaching for the keys.
What do you think she was looking for? She had an itch. Oh my God, my underwear! It's so itchy.
Gotta let it. But he's so close, Erik. He's so close to the camera.
She takes, everybody has plants. She takes the freaking planter and throws it up towards the bedroom.
Oh, to the window to wake up Tommy. And this is all while he's coming across the street. It's really, I'm like, people talk about how slowly Michael Myers moves, but he's
he only moves slow when you watch.
Well, people do parodies of it where they cut back and he's a little further back.
Yeah,
people do.
I've also seen one where he's waiting in the closet. Like he sets up the whole thing and he's playing games and stuff until he finally.
Yeah, so Tommy comes down, they get the door open, they come in. And then she notices, we even see in the background that over in the living room, there's a window open and there's a curtain flying.
And plus the phone is dead.
Yes.
So Michael Myers cut the wires. Busy guy.
And fast.
Yeah. If you want something done.
Did he do it in one movement, Erik? Did he cut the wire and do a barrel roll through the window like all in one?
He must have.
One moment.
And so she's on that. Remember that couch we were talking about where they're watching TV and there's you get that space behind the couch before the curtains, back wall.
Mm-hmm.
There's knitting needles.
Yeah, so she knows maybe he's in here,
Yeah.
so she pulls out the knitting needle and she's looking around.
What I love is if this is the case, he's actually crouched behind the couch. So picture Michael Myers hiding behind the couch like it's hide and seek, and then he goes and comes up. I think it's hilarious. Like he's joking around. It's like, here I am.
Like, yeah.
He's like, got you again. Could have killed you.
I know. But she just puts that knitting needle right in the side of his neck, and he pulls it out, but then just collapses like instantly onto the ground.
Yep, and he drops the knife.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do after all this? You just seen 3 of your friends brutally murdered. You just stabbed them in the neck with a knitting needle. So you relax on the couch and throw the knife on the floor. You're like, that's done.
Yeah. Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis to this day, and I think John Carpenter said, yeah, when they watch it now, they're like, why did she drop the knife?
Yeah. Oh, it's done.
Why did she leave the knife there?
Yeah. Freaking push the couch.
They even admit that when they watch it today, that sticks out to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while we're counting things here, this is Michael Myers technically death number 1. Death number 1.
Yeah.
I stopped counting the bodies, but we got Michael Myers dead number 1.
And so if you're watching this for the first time, the audience is back in 1978, you might think, oh, she just killed Michael Myers, right?
Yeah, because
you might think that.
She's going to have some popcorn.
Like, boom, yeah. Because she goes upstairs to get Tommy, Tommy tells her you can't kill the boogeyman.
No.
That's what he says.
But she says the boogeyman's dead. I killed him.
Yeah. While in the background, what I like about this shot, you see something moving up the stairs in the background. And this is where I wanted to mention original audiences watching this must have been like, wait, what? Who's that? What's happening? I thought that guy was dead.
Yep. And poor Tommy, now traumatized for life because well, I guess those bullies were right. The boogeyman exists and he's coming to get me tonight. But you can't kill the boogeyman.
Yeah.
So she makes the kids go back in the bedroom. I locks the door. Lock the door.
He locks them in and she runs into the bedroom because Michael's just going to stand there while she's doing that.
Yeah, he lets her. It's like, no, the kids aren't part of this. Listen.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you just real quick. So what do you think with Michael Myers and the kids? What is going on? He doesn't seem to be interested in hurting the kids at all in this movie.
That's what I love.
Or any of the movies, maybe, I think.
That's what I love is you just, oh no, there's movie.
Oh, no, that's right. Yeah,
he takes kids out later on. But he's got a mission, I guess. He's like, know what? I'm just going to keep going after Laurie and her friends.
And once again, we have just what's become an iconic scene for this movie. She goes in kind of smart. I think she opens the doors to the balcony to make it seem like she might have gone out that way. And then she goes into the closet.
To me, I'm just like, what? Why would you go into the closet? The flimsiest possible doors. It's, what do you call that shade? The
slats. The slats.
Closet. And she uses coat hanger which is hard to
lock the door.
Those are cheap coat hangers.
She tries to she wraps it around the handles so it can't open. And then we just watch. It's great playing with light. We see his shadow go past the door. So I like the way they set up, Erik, because you're thinking he's going to go over to those open windows and what's going to happen. But then he comes back and then he just starts to try to get in and it escalates. He's shaking the door until finally he starts to smash those slats open with the.
And here's another example of where Mike Myers is. You know that he can break doors. He pounded right through that kitchen door, and now he's got these cheap ass closet doors, and he's got to be out there going, "I'm going to scare the shit out of him. I'm just going to shake it for a while." And he's like, it was like 10 minutes of him. But when he breaks through, he super scary. He hits they got the pull switch with the bald bulb.
Yeah.
He hits that and it goes on and it's swinging. So scary. And he's reaching for her. And then he hits the light and it goes off. Loved. It was so great. That's one of my favorite scenes right there, is when he's
it's great.
Looking at her, trying to reach for her.
And she grabs a coat hanger and undoes it so she has a sharp thing. And she pokes him in the eye. Good, smart. That's good.
Yep.
But he drops the knife. She's not letting it go this time.
Nope.
She grabs it, turns it upward, and jams it right up into his chest area that she gets him. Yeah, and then he falls. He falls out of the closet door. She's killed him again.
Right. He's not moving. She has to walk around him because he's lying right there.
Yeah.
But you're thinking, what is the deal here?
Mm-hmm.
She stabbed him in the neck. You're dead. Blood spurting out. You're dead. Nope.
Yeah.
She pokes him in the eye. That's not a death one, but stabs him in the chest. What's going on?
Yeah. So she goes to get the kids and she's like, look, you got to run, go get help. Sends them down the street to the Mackenzies, I think. And she goes, they go out of the house, screaming out of the house, which I like. And just so happens Loomis is patrolling the neighborhood. He's across the street and he sees these kids. What the hell's going on? This is weird. Why are these kids going screaming out of the house?
Yeah, he's pretty useless, if you ask me. He's like, oh, wait, maybe he's over there. Don't go. Remember, he told the police, don't go house to house. That's what they should have done. But this brings him over there. He starts running over there.
But meanwhile, upstairs, and this is, she's in the foreground and she's just crying. She's finally killed Michael Myers. We're all thinking, okay, Loomis is over there. And in the background, no soundtrack yet. He just sits up in the background.
But sits up meaning just like a doll. I mean, he doesn't use his hands. He just sits up.
Yeah. And then the head turns
so terrifying.
To look at her.
Terrifying.
It is. And Erik, this is for listeners, on YouTube, you can hear an original recording from Halloween's 1978 original release. Somebody recorded the audience reacting to this moment. And it is, but the audience, the scream when he sits up.
That must be so satisfying as a director. And
you can listen to it. You can listen to the audience, Erik, as that happens.
Yep.
And
screaming. That would be awesome to hear.
But what I love is there's no score. This is where he sits up and looks at her, and then you hear the bump, bottom, bump, bump.
Like as ding, 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 ding,
yep.
ding, 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 ding. So great.
It's so simple and just and so Loomis is tearing ass into the house.
Yep.
And Laurie stands up and starts to walk away into another room. And he follows. Once again on that audience recording, he comes through the door, Michael, and you hear the audience go, because he grabs her by the neck.
Yep. This time he's like, I'm not fooling around. I'm going to kill you now.
Yeah. And he's strangling her.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, and why it's so creepy, I don't know, but she's like, and she gets his mask off.
Mm-hmm.
And for, I don't even know, 3 seconds or less, you see Michael Myers.
Yeah.
He has one eye that's got poked out a little bit, but otherwise, the audience is making up their own mind what he looks like, which is kind of unfortunate now because you can pause it. But they chose a guy who was attractive and non-menacing.
Yes.
It's his only scene, and this guy still tours around as Mike Myers, by the way.
Yeah. He's credited in the credits as Michael Myers, 23 years old or something.
Yeah.
Like,
and then the Shape
he's
is
credited.
the other credit, Nick Castle. But both of these guys can tour the United States as Mike Myers. But then
And in the script, the original script they wrote, it says he has the face of an angel.
Right.
That's what they said in the script.
And it's not, he doesn't go, oh, or anything. He just goes to put it back on like it's a protective device for him.
Yes,
and
he needs to have it on in order to continue. He needs
guess.
to put it back on. Yeah.
For whatever reason that is, which they never explain in this movie, and I love it.
No. But that by this time, Loomis is up there, and Loomis has his gun drawn. He's got a permit. He probably goes to the range maybe now and then.
He's got a permit,
maybe a couple of times a year.
I've fired it once or twice before. Don't worry about me.
So he shoots and gets him, and he sort of stumbles out of the frame, Michael Myers.
Yeah.
So we think, oh, Loomis just shot him, but then Loomis goes into the room, and it's a really great shot because right in front of him, Michael backlit is the shape and the breathing.
He's just
so he's still
there.
standing after having been shot. Once again, Eric, going back to the audience reaction, audience screamed again there too.
I bet
think they weren't expecting that.
And this is the French doors that Laurie had opened to make it look like she got out. But I do want to point out that Michael Myers is not doing anything. He's just standing there like, here I am. So creepy. And then Loomis shoots him. We have to be clear about this because fans of Halloween will be like, you're wrong. Shot him once. Then he shoots him 5 more times. So he unloads it. It's a 6-shooter, right?
And Michael's he's sort of jerking with each shot. He's jerking back, but it's not like he's falling over. Mm-hmm. But it is blowing him back a little bit until he reaches the edge of the balcony. And then he just sort of falls over the balcony, and we get a shot of him from above lying there, and we get the wow on the soundtrack.
Yep. Death number 3.
Yeah.
He's died 3 times. He just shot him 6 times.
Shot him 6 times, and he's lying on the ground. Yep. We saw that.
And we have to split these lines. So you want to be Laurie or Loomis?
Okay. I'll be Laurie.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
So Laurie says...
That was the boogeyman.
As a matter of fact, it was. That was my best. As a matter of fact.
What I love about it, Eric, you did a good job, is it's so flat and understated and matter of fact that it makes it creepy, I think. I think it adds to this, that was the boogeyman. And then Loomis goes over, looks over the balcony, and he's not there. Once again, Eric, on that original recording, audience reaction.
You're gonna
he's not there. Very big. I know. Yeah.
And it's just weird because you think you know what's happening and you don't. This guy died 3 times and then he's gone. And then it's just shots of the house, the empty house. Like, is he here? Is he there? Is he there? Then you get a shot of the neighbor's house. Is he there? Is he there? And then our final shot is the Myers house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all you hear is like...
It gets louder as those shots are going on, Eric. It gets louder and louder, that breathing sound. So you don't
think he's in that house. You just think this is just an added sound. But it creeps you out because you don't know what the hell that was about.
And where he is. I think part of this movie's success as a horror movie is this final sequence you're saying, where it shows all these regular suburban houses and the insides of them and these little shots. And so walking out of the theater after seeing this, you're like, he's out there in the neighborhood, in the streets, the movie leaves you with whatever this is out there and could get me.
Yeah,
I think
it's the boogeyman, but we don't even know if he's stopped or not. He just gone. He just is like, okay, I'm out of here. I'll go somewhere else. Really awesome. I think it's an awesome ending because holy crap, it's the end of the movie. It's the end of Halloween.
Yeah.
Ding,
I
ding,
know.
ding, 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 ding. Wow.
And you're also, through this ending, you've been like, what the hell? Is this guy indestructible? He's not able to be killed? Like this.
Exactly. And I think
Yeah.
this iconic character art of Michael Myers, aka The Shape, was the precedent for, we're going to have killers, but we're going to make them that they somehow are people, but they can't be killed, a la Jason Voorhees, and any other Freddy Krueger, anything where you're like, you can't kill it. But I thought this one, in my opinion, was the model for that.
Yeah, it's an incredible ending, but that was it, and then they never made another one. They never made
another Halloween. It's weird. They had every opportunity to not only continue the story and ruin it, but they also had opportunities to bring back dead characters that would no way be ever possible for them to come back. Or you know what? Retell the story with another director. And you know what? Forget that. We'll retell the story again with another director. And then the very last Halloween, we're going to ruin it for you. We're just going to make everyone pissed off.
But there are a lot of Halloween sequels and remakes and reboots out there for you to watch. But this is the original, and it is still a great piece of filmmaking, of horror, of ideas made for budgetary reasons that ended up being iconic. But also, they put some thought into this idea. I will say this as I'm summing up my thoughts here, Eric. I might as well.
Well, yeah, sure.
They're not all, thoughts aren't complete, but I think that works, like you said. They don't over-explain things, but they put ideas into a blender here. The boogeyman, evil, fate, sex, then layered an incredibly chilling score over this. And people may be thinking, I know the Halloween score. It has different permutations in this movie. There's several different musical themes that he actually works with here. And it works with the sound design. I love the idea of the costume with that white face that's neutral, and just the figure that it cuts in shadow and standing over people are so great. I like Jamie Lee Curtis in this movie, and she does a great job as Laurie Strode and really shoulders a lot in those last moments where she just has to be absolutely terrified. Donald Pleasence does center the movie a little bit with his gravitas in this role.
Great, gravitas.
Yeah, right? He has like a gravitas in this role, and he delivers that iconic speech in the middle, which I think does a lot for this movie. It really helps it. It still holds up. The finale is still amazing in this movie. We make a lot of fun, Eric and I, of Jason's diorama that he sets up at the end in the room. It's almost like his own little haunted house, but it is creepy and weird and what the hell. And it's just all contributes to a creepy atmosphere. I definitely recommend Halloween. I've seen it a million times. So I think people would really enjoy watching this. But here's the deal. Don't be on your phone. Turn off your lights. Put on Halloween and just watch it and let it seep in on you, and you'll experience it. Hopefully, if you've never seen it before and you listen to us, you know what's coming, but you'll let this atmosphere kind of wash over you, just like those audiences did when it first came out. And you can see why it became such a big hit. So big recommend for me for Halloween 1978.
And I agree. Don't have any distractions when you're watching it. If somebody comes in, what are you guys watching? Ruined it. Especially if there's a moment. You got to watch the movie and make sure nobody can come in, including Michael Myers. But I think when you talked about Halloween, where the only thing is that, okay, let's go. I think maybe you hit it right, is where they had that equipment. They're like, we've got to use this equipment. It's so awesome. Let's do another shot with this equipment. That probably could be what that was. Everything else, the character of Michael Myers, the suspense, it gives me goosebumps still. And it's just 1978, right? And it's 2025. What was the last Halloween? Was just 2 years ago? 3 years ago, 2? Yeah. So it's still happening. And in Halloween in Salem, one of my favorite Mike Myers, there's a bunch of them, but the one that embodies this Halloween, he nails it. His mask looks like he got it off the set. And he's a minister. He's a deacon. So he's just doing it for fun and stuff, but he plays that character so well. So many Michael Myers in Salem. And so it still lives on to this day. Amazing. I love it. If only they made a part 2.
Well, usually this is where, Eric, you and I, we're not big sequel people as far as on this podcast, but we usually run down a whole bunch. But you and I are going to be covering
Shut up.
Halloween sequels here in the future. So we're going to let you listen to some of our thoughts in the future on that. We're not going to run down what you should watch. So stay tuned for Midnight Cinema. In the future, we will be covering some of the future Halloween movies.
Yes, we will.
Eric, we do need to come up with a rating, though. A rating for this movie.
I'm going to breathe heavy for a second because I'm so hard. We've already come up with one.
Okay. For this movie, I'm talking. No, but hey, Eric, I'm talking about a rating we can use for our podcast.
We have a rating.
Okay,
all right. Listen to some of the podcasts instead of forgetting about.
Okay.
Them. Yes, I'm like 10. I guess it's 10. No, 9.5. I'm not giving it a 10. I can't do that. Right? It's 9.5 Shatner masks. Yeah, and that's 9. all. 5. That's it.
That's it, and we'll use that for every movie.
I'm not even giving another one. I'm not going to say anything else. 9.5 real pumpkins.
All right.
9 school bullies. Nothing like
everybody, we want to hear what you rated Halloween.
Yeah.
If you're a longtime fan, or maybe you just recently watched it, or just if you listen to our podcast. And we'd love to hear what you have to think out there about it. You can reach us through our website, midnightcinemapod.com. And by the way, you can listen to us on any of the podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, any of those.
Rated.
So listen to us on any of those podcast platforms. Give us a rating or a review. Eric, I've had a great time talking about Halloween. I know you and I both love this movie. You're entering into October right now, full disclosure, which is a big time for you in Salem, Massachusetts, I know. So I hope you're going to have a wonderful Halloween season going into that.
Well, I'll be talking to you, though, next week. But, Art, normally I close this out with something dramatic. But in the meantime, I'm just going to leave you with...
Okay.
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay.